Kerry Washington.
Are they actually together? They're not together.
No. They're both married to separate people, but their chemistry in real life.
Oh, is it?
They ain't being their allegations, man.
Okay.
Like, they're not. Morning, people. Happy New Week. It is Monday, the 28th of October. Welcome to TDA, the day after, your favourite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. I am one of your lovely hosts for today, my own royalty.
It's your girl, Just Jean, representing the Black Queens in the fitness scene. I mean.
I know, that's right. And Brent is here with us. It's just two of us today. Well, E-Man should be in here at some point. But it's just Brent with us as well.
Morning. How's your weekend?
Oh, I had a good... Do you know, yeah? So, obviously, I'm a homebody and whatnot. And especially like when it's cold, I just find comfort in my house. But I've also been very, very tired. I realised the other day that I've actually been tired since I started secondary school. That's when it started. I'm just tired. So anyway, I had plans for the whole weekend, as in Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I didn't do one.
I love that for you.
I didn't do one. The only thing I did was go out for a roast, which was very nice. It's a very lovely restaurant. It's called Maroon. Lovely in there. I think it's Black owned, I think.
Where was it, like a Caribbean roast?
Yeah, it's so yummy.
Where was it?
It's in Herne Hill.
I don't know where that is.
South. It's like near Brixton.
Okay.
It was really nice. So my weekend was good. I also, remember I told you about my trainers, about the go-karting?
Yes.
Got them fixed.
Wow.
Big up some guy called, his brand is called Crepes Revive, London.
I think I've heard
Brent, he did a damn thing. Because I couldn't, because I was going to buy new ones, but I couldn't find them anymore. They're not stocked anymore. So then, thankfully, I reached out to him. That's his page, right? Let me see. No, Crepe Revive London, LDN.
Yeah.
And he did the damn thing. He actually did the damn flipping thing. So I was so happy. Like, really happy. So that was good. I had a good week. I feel very, very rested. I didn't even know when the clocks went back, which is the best way to be. Because I feel like when you're out and it goes back, it's like the rapture. You just, it's silly. So I feel very, very refreshed. And this morning I woke up and I said, you know what? Thank you, God, for sleep. As in, like, the concept of sleep, the concept of rest. Oh, my God. God ate. No crumbs. Like, God ate with that.
I love that for you.
So rested. I just feel so refreshed.
I love that for you.
So that's how my weekend was. How was your weekend?
Saturday I spent with my niece and nephew.
Oh, she's grown so much.
Yeah, but
it's so weird because I used to watch. They're cheeky. They're very, very.
No,
that needs to be discussed. I don't know why that is going into the younger generation.
Do you know what someone said to me? They were like, they've heard that from somewhere before. They have to.
They've heard it from elders.
No, as in, like, what are your parents saying about me when I'm not there? Because
give Brent context, please. Because
Brent, so I'm with my niece and nephew over the weekend, yeah. And my niece goes to me, Auntie Gina, how old are you? I said old enough. She was like, no, I need to know how old you are. I said, why?
She was going somewhere.
She was like, I need to know how old you are. I was like, 35. She was like, you're 35. I said, yeah. She goes, shouldn't you be married by now? Like, in that kind of tone. I said, sorry.
Because who asked you?
She was like, where's your children?
Spell married. Spell children.
Where's your house? I said, wow, Avery.
Girl.
I said, wow.
It's how kids go. You know when you pinch kids.
I said, after all I've done for you this weekend.
Can you imagine?
Oh, okay.
You want to insult me?
Bro, why's your mouth open?
How old is Avery?
She's 7.
Oh.
Who's been talking to Avery?
This is what I'm saying. And then
Avery's going to 17.
And then her brother came. Auntie Gina, when are you having children? I said, you, go and comb your hair.
They want playmates. Please, don't you have friends?
Yeah, they definitely want playmates.
Yeah, but you can their parents will start setting up them little, what's their things, play dates.
Yeah, literally.
With their school friends.
No, but do you know why? Do you know what I think it is as well, yeah? Well, I think what didn't help was obviously we went out with my friends that had kids. So obviously it's like...
thinking, all these strange kids, I can play my cousins. With my cousins
them, I think they're probably thinking,
what in the heck?
Like, why were you like your substitute children?
No, when I heard that, I said, no, why is this being passed on to the younger generation?
No, literally.
Like, there's some things that should just stop. Like,
no,
just stop.
She was so... No, it's the way she was like...
No, she was very convicted.
Shouldn't you be married by now? I said, oh, okay. Like, her concern was so, like, real. I said, oh...
When you grow up, you get it.
You've definitely been speaking to... Conversations have been happening in your household.
She's been eavesdropping for sure.
She's been eavesdropping, 100%.
Yeah, she's been eavesdropping. It's crazy.
Damn it.
No word. If my niece says something like that to me, you're not coming back to this house for a few weeks. You're banned. Asking silly questions. To be fair, I probably just give her a speech on feminism.
Curtis, can you stop me rude, yeah? He said my trampoline in video effing killed him.
You said that?
Basically, Curtis Jackson. I'll put up a video of me, what's it called? Attempting. Do you know what it is?
No, you're working out.
Nah, yeah, sweating like a thief.
You're working out.
Literally. But do you know what I think? What I find really interesting about kids? Yeah, kids are they're just fearless, isn't it? They're not scared of anything.
And I love that
yeah.
so much.
And I really wish I still had that in me.
Yeah.
Because when I stood on top of the trampoline, there was height, and I was like, oh. How am I gonna do this? And obviously, I'm sorry, but my body is very important.
No, but that's what I was
to
gonna
me.
say.
It's my
It's
job.
a fear of breaking a So I'm not breaking a bone.
I never want to like. That's always what I think about. Yeah, and I thought I can't land wrong because if I do, it's a long day for me.
It's a long week. It's a long month, possibly.
Exactly. So all of those things are going through my head. So when I attempted to jump here, it didn't work. I just plummeted. It was actually it's funny, but it was.
You're walking with lions.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Gina's a unicorn. You never know where she's gonna stand on a subject.
No,
I just find out in real time.
Do you know what? That's
word.
That's fine. You know what? That is
word.
That is. I let the
because
spirit
to be
lead.
fair, you could have broken a toe, but a lion, you could have broken everything.
I know, but I let the spirit lead.
Fair.
So.
Fair.
Yeah.
You are fearless, to be fair, though, because I wouldn't do either. Brent, how was the Ned on Friday?
Right then. So let me mention the Ned last. Yeah.
Brent, what?
Let me mention the Ned last.
Okay.
I got a couple of things to basically just talk about.
For it.
First of all, hello everybody in the chat.
Good morning, y'all.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. I know Dr. Amani had a fantastic weekend.
Big up Dr. Amani.
It was
That looks amazing.
absolutely amazing, apparently.
It did. It looked. I said I did. I wasn't there, but I saw her story.
Yeah, Heather was there. I'm sure
big up
other people
Heather.
from TDA were there, but
Heather is just the gift that keeps on giving, you know. I've never met anyone. If my man is not as supportive as Heather, I get a new one.
her thirst and hunger for life and new experiences.
Oh, you bought us food.
Did you bring food? Oh,
hi.
She's so adorable.
She's
She's
so
weird.
cute.
Oh, you're so. Bring your daughter
she's
to work
shy.
day.
I want to hug.
I want to hug her.
So do I.
I think she thinks like these people are.
She looks really shy. Oh.
Yeah, because when she came in, we were like,
I know.
hey girl.
Sorry.
Oh, that's so sweet.
What's your name?
Fair enough. You know what? Fair.
Okay,
'cause
fine.
yeah. Daddy.
Can I have a hug though? She said yes.
Oh, she's so cute.
Oh, your hair's so pretty.
She's just so adorable. I want to cry. She's so adorable.
I'm sorry, but little black girls, yeah.
They're just everything. Morning.
It's the way she even whispered her name.
It's her bow in her hair. It's a magic. She's got a cord on. I love a cord. She's so cute.
Guys, Emmanuel just brought his beautiful daughter in. That's why we're just really
gorgeous girl. She's grown so much since the last time I saw her. Where did Chris go to? She's actually taller. Oh, she's so sweet. I'll give you a pass. Get all the passes today. Yeah, Brent, sorry. You were interrupted by a cute black princess.
Yeah, I don't feel like talking anymore.
Why? Because she's cuter than you.
Shy in front of your niece?
I was just joking. I was complaining about how you guys just decided to cut me off and start looking at the little baby.
She's
so
adorable.
cute though, man.
You bring kids in here and we stop as well.
Look at her face.
She's so cute.
I know you see her all the time, so you're thinking, okay, get over it.
I don't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't even want to set her off because I might. So you should show her with love and affection and stuff in it.
No, but she's really adorable.
Yeah. She is.
Oh, man.
Well,
Sorry.
Just like her pops, right?
No. She get it from her mother.
you're an egg.
You know about hater. I was always.
He knew what he did there. He set that up. He knew exactly what he did. He knew what he did, man.
No, but Manuel, you should be proud. No,
Everything is looking good. Won't he do it?
Like, proper.
So beautiful, man. But yeah, Brent. So big up Heather, big up Dr. Mani.
Yeah. So that was that, and I went to Kalachi's play.
Oh, she's got to play.
Yes, she does have a play, and I think you all should go and check it out. It's called "Why a Black Woman Would Never Be Prime Minister."
Why did you send us this now?
Well, to be honest, she's been blasting it on her socials for a while. I mean, I'm a friend, so this is what happens. I support things.
Sorry, friend.
That's all right. But anyway, it's still showing. It's going to be showing until sometime in November.
Nice.
So I think you should go and get a ticket.
So when you say she's the play,
She directed it.
She directed
wrote
it
also, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Where is it showing?
Stunning. In Camden.
Nice.
The People's Theatre in Camden, I think that's what it's called.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll check that out.
But it's really, really good. And
Big up Kelechi, man.
I haven't been to a theatre like that because it has like an element of it that I thought was very, very...
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was cute. Very, very cute. And yeah, it was stunning. I don't know if she was in the room, but I think she was in the room.
Oh, you didn't see your friend?
No, but I'll go again when it's finished.
Oh,
the last day. And then I'll give her flowers and whatnot.
Aw, you're such a good friend.
Yeah. I do that to all of my friends.
Why are you emphasizing my friends?
Leave
today?
him.
What's happening? What's the thing?
Oh, you think it is leading up to something?
Yes.
Nope.
Because nothing from you ever is ever just.
No,
just
that's the second time.
You're always leading something.
That's the second time he's
my
said
friend,
it.
my friend.
Oh, you know, I'm a friend, and that's what happens. Anything else you want to pop off your chest?
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, what's on your heart? Speak.
I think it's because we didn't come on Friday. That's what I'm thinking.
It can't be that.
Is that what's on your conscience?
No, it's not my conscience. I'm just thinking that's what you're leading to. It's not.
can't-
Trust me, it's not my conscience
I know
at all.
that.
It cannot be that. Because expecting that from me, knowing who I am, my
No, but do you know what's
personality is
interesting though? Yeah,
crazy.
Sarah messaged me and I said, you know what? I said, you see where I'm at right now? I don't like literally unless it's like, and to be fair, you don't even tell me. Do you know the joke? I didn't have a clue. When she mentioned it, she was like, oh, we missed yesterday.
Do you know what's funny? Bren is going to say that. Let me tell you, he's going to say that
What?
you should know when it is because it's the same time every month.
Okay. And my response is going to be, well, at the end of the day, this ain't got
Yeah,
it
it's got it in. I will be the next one though because it's the last one for the year.
November, right?
Who's Sarah?
Sarah.
Danielle put on a story.
Sarah.
No, was it Danielle or Margs?
I don't know.
I think it's Danielle.
Sarah.
I was Sarah.
Yeah.
As in stunning.
Yeah.
As in she got
Body
two stunning
smoking,
sisters.
figure eight. Yes.
Figure eight.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you say who said what?
No,
What
he
was your
said.
question?
He said which Sarah? I said
Yeah.
Sarah
Oh, I thought you
messaged
said who
me.
said that. That's what I
She
was like,
said
Sarah
Sarah
messaged
messaged
me.
her.
Yeah, she
Oh,
did.
okay.
I know they were virgins.
Yeah, she said it before.
Alex,
you
I've
don't
spoken
listen.
about Sarah before.
She said it last week.
Literally.
You talked about Sarah last week?
It was last week or the week before.
The
She's
week
definitely spoken
before.
about
I
it
spoke
very
about
recent,
her.
What reference?
recent
What was the
days.
reference?
I think I spoke about her body and her beautiful. She was.
Yeah,
You
it
even told me
was.
that she goes to your gym and you didn't know that she goes to your
What was it
gym
to do with?
at 5.
That was
6
definitely not
a.m.
last week.
No,
That's
but
probably a day after last month.
anyways, like
You're on one today.
Well,
Anyway, sorry, is the next one the last one?
for the year.
Yeah.
So the end of November.
Yes.
Okay, I'll be there.
I'll
The
be there.
29th.
29th of
Children
November.
of the Lord.
It's already in my calendar.
I'll be there.
Yeah, and we-
I'll
Jennifer's
even
showing out.
make a dress for you. No, I'm joking. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
What's the vibe?
We've already got the like invite thingamajiggy up, so it's live right now. So
Okay. I
We
need
were-
to send some people to be fair.
we're
actually.
only admitting like a few. So if
few
you want to
what?
be there, then
A few what?
a few people.
I'm not ready.
I know you're not talking to me when you say if I want to be there. You can't. There's no way you're talking to me. There's no flipping way that it's me you're addressing when you say if I want to be there.
Well, Danielle.
Let me
looked
get to the door
gorgeous,
and say I can't come in.
Stunning. She was swooning around the place.
Danielle
Everybody wanted to hear that.
Danielle just has an energy of like, just goddess.
It was wavy. It was nice.
Lit.
Got 4 different DJs this time.
Yeah,
Sick.
who'd you
How
have?
did they?
We had Miles Logan, we had Tayo, we had Nicole Shy, and we had Freddie. No, Buttery Hotness.
I was about to say I don't know anybody, but I know him.
Oh, serious?
His
Yeah,
DJ
so
name is
he's-
Buttery Hotness.
Yeah, he did my
Everything about him is buttery smooth.
Is he light skin, man?
dark skin.
Very dark skin.
Is it?
Beard all glistening
Yeah.
and stuff.
He did my when I did DLT, Gymshark last year. He did my set.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
serious?
Yeah,
That's nice.
yeah.
Yeah, he's very, very
He's
good.
cool.
Are they gonna be the next one as well?
Yes.
I think it's actually good that you have different people in the
Yeah.
lineup. Actually,
Yeah?
yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
I came to you last time asking for a little help.
You asked me who is the best for Amapiano and Afro beats. I
And it's
gave you the
nepotism.
best person. You didn't ask me for any
Was
other
it-
genre. You asked me who's the best person. I said DJ Neptizzle. You said, are you sure? I said, I wouldn't recommend anybody else for Amapiano and Afro beats. I gave you what you asked me for. You didn't ask me for different genres. You asked me specifically.
And
And
she
I
gave a
stand on
specific
what I
answer.
said. I do not think anybody is better at Afro beats and Amapiano than DJ Neptizzle.
And I back that.
So if you ask me again, I'm still gonna give you that same answer.
I back it, and then the Afrobeats and Amapiano community back it too.
Yeah, so
I actually asked you if you knew any DJs.
You asked me specifically for Piano and Afrobeats, Brent. You did. You were specific about them two, and you even said so he's the best person for those two genres, and I said yes.
And that's fine. I first of all asked you, do you know any DJs?
Yeah, but I don't know. He's the only DJ that I can vouch for.
All right.
Oh, he's
And
coming. He's gonna
I'm
warm
only
up your
talking
food.
I'm only talking to you saying, it's good that you have a variety.
So I'm saying,
No, I understand. No.
in my head, yeah, if you have like different people in the lineup, they're gonna play different genres. That's what I'm assuming.
Ah, okay.
Right. So maybe like a bashment DJ who has like a bashment set.
yeah.
Someone who does like R&B. There's a guy called DJ Naira, so he does my beats and bands.
Yeah.
And he's good because he's like he does like R&B.
Yeah.
But like, it's like party. Do you know what I mean? It's like the
Party
stuff.
R&B.
Yeah, but it's like, it's good. He's lit,
Yeah.
so I like him as well.
Yeah. I believe you, man. I believe you. But that's good. Everybody enjoyed themselves.
That's good.
Right down to like 3 a.m. They were partying.
Booging
crazy.
down.
Yeah. But anyway,
Love that. For y'all.
like I said, the next one is gonna be the last one for the year. So
See y'all there.
these lovely babies are gonna be there.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna be enjoying ourselves.
gonna what?
We're gonna be enjoying ourselves. I think that's it. I think those are my announcements. That is it.
It's gonna be a great time.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
All right. Very soon we're gonna have a T&B shop open. Just waiting on a few things.
You're like a dog with a bone, ain't you? You're just a dog with a bone.
Well, I was told I didn't remind people, so I'm trying to remind
Oh.
on air.
That's fine. I told you. I don't know why you do these things. You can't shame me. You can't reverse psychology me. Like, it just doesn't work. I haven't apologized. Can you imagine? Anyway,
Oh, you are too low. Cameras on you, Mario.
too low.
Morning, people.
How was your weekend?
Right, man. It's just.
Vibes.
Hey, what happened to the thing? Oh, okay, cool. I fixed it.
Blurry.
Because his ass is on camera.
Why is it getting blurry by the second? This is scary.
That's the focus.
Oh, it's steady. It's focused now. Focus on me. Focus on me. But yeah.
It's still thinking though.
Yeah, because he's moving around.
But yeah, man. Life is good. So this is wild.
I saw that. I thought, guys,
That's just embarrassing. That's just very embarrassing, actually. There's no need for that. Look,
baby oil.
it says freak off oil. Like, why would you go to an event like that?
That's ridiculous.
Because it's childish.
It's literally childish. It's just, there's no need. You probably designed that as well, you know. Paid for the cardboard cutout. Ugh. I'm embarrassed. But yeah, all right. Well, actually, Brent is still not there. Brent is still not. Oh, this is so sweet. Every time I log on to the apps, I'm seeing engagements and stuff.
And
It's great.
I went to my friend Kay's opening of her second dentistry.
Amazing.
surgery.
The black dentist.
And it's in Fitzrovia.
Oh, Kevin.
Yeah. It's Kevin and Kay's and Kevin's.
I don't know Kay.
That's
I
all
only know.
right. I know
Kevin.
Kay.
Sorry, I know Kevin.
So I thought you
Kevin
said she.
DePar.
The pa. Yes.
Whose dentistry is it?
Kay.
And Kevin.
All right. He's
Kay
one.
a woman?
He's one of the dentists there.
Is Kay a woman?
Yes.
Oh, I wondered why. Okay. And then Kevin is a guy,
Yes.
obviously. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
He's
wait, it's
actual
Kay's
dentist. Kay's not a
practice.
dentist, but it's her second
Her practice. Okay. That's
Dove-
amazing, you
He's
know.
Dove
got his
Dental.
own practice though in South.
Yeah, it's Dove Dental, right?
So yeah, so it's
Keys.
it's
Sorry.
whatever, man. Like
That's right.
it's people like you that actually jar me, but it's fine.
I mean, I could tell you details, but it's not
I
important.
don't need the details. It's fine.
It's not important.
That is really good, you know. That's so. I love when I find black people in like certain professions. It just makes me so happy. Like, you know, like the things where you're so used to seeing white people like all the time.
Huh?
Doesn't matter. I just
but
love when you
is he
see
not the
black people in
face?
places.
Yes.
Because most people know it because of. So this is what I'm. You see stuff like that. It's like.
Wait, read that one.
No, I know what I'm doing. You know what you're doing.
Stop making it. I feel like
No,
I've seen
because you know why? Do you know why I'm annoyed? Because if that was me and that was happening, I'd be so annoyed because I'm thinking, I hear it, but do you know like how much energy and effort and the people that I'm bringing through the door, like the clients that he has high end clientele.
What are we doing?
No. It's what you were doing.
Not what we doing.
No, because you were doing it and I'm matching your energy and now you're shaking your head looking confused.
Except she's on camera.
Exactly.
But I'm not sure what we're doing.
No. You started it and I'm matching your
I
energy.
don't know what I started.
Okay.
I don't know what I started.
I don't know why I started,
I went to K-Dub's thing.
It's fine.
And it was fantastic. The second one is in Fitzrovia.
What's Fitzrovia?
Fitzrovia, like
Fitzrovia.
that's the one.
Is that London Road?
First time I've ever
London.
been there, but I heard some
Yeah, I've
It's
never heard
like
of it.
Upmarket.
it's like uptown.
very
Okay.
expensive down there, and near Camden.
Nice.
But it was really, 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 really good.
That's beautiful.
Like really, really good.
Big up her, man. Love black
yeah.
excellence, man. That's great.
Big up them. Big up them.
No. Go with her because that's the tune you were going with.
Do you know what it is as
Because
well?
I don't know him. I
you know what it is? In all the Black History Months that's ever happened in UK, this has been the messiest one. So let's cleanse our palates quickly. Let's get to Lest We Forget, please.
Let's do it.
Please.
No, I'm not fucking finished. So basically, if anybody needs dentistry work,
Yeah.
anything,
Yeah.
they have cutting edge services.
Okay, sick.
And if you come through me,
Yeah.
you might be able to get a discount.
Okay. To be fair, yeah, okay, fair.
Yeah. I'm gonna get some work done.
I want to get my teeth whitened, to be fair.
I'm gonna get some new
if you
teeth.
can give me a
I'm gonna get a
discount.
facelift. Because they do
Fillers and stuff.
fillers and stuff.
Don't blow your face.
But no, I have to.
Yeah, they're looking like Katie Price.
No. It's non-destructive.
They play.
They play. But I'm joking. I'm not gonna get any work done.
No, okay.
Yeah, but if I did want to, it would be cheaper.
Okay, if you can get me a discount, that'd be great.
Ah, wonderful. I'll
I
sort
would
you out.
like to.
I went to sort you out.
My private insurance doesn't cover
No,
it.
because it's even annoyed me because I've just had to do this just to know I'm not going crazy because what you did there really annoyed me.
Oh, sick.
What's happening?
No, it was
Show me his page.
She knows what I'm doing because it says co-owner, but you want to sit here and talk about someone's the help.
When did I say
I don't care because that stuff annoys me
It
because
actually says-
it's not funny.
What are you talking about?
You can act as confused as you like, my friend, because I'm not doing this with you.
That's lit, man. I love stuff like this.
Huh? Sorry? I don't know what that means. Okay.
Not good. Well,
I will never be. I'm Gina. Do you want me to say that out loud as well? do you want me to say that one out loud
I
as
was
well?
looking at you.
Do you want me to say that one loud as
You
well?
needed.
Do you want me to say it out loud as well? I don't think you do.
Okay, do you know what? Let's before we actually forget, let's forget, please.
Yes.
Let me sort out.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
All right, people. So, as you guys know, big up Black History Month. Happy Black History Month to everybody. And as you guys know, since the beginning of this month, we have been bigging up some of the unsung heroes, some of the people that kind of go under the radar, but their impact is impossible to basically downplay. And today, the black man that we want to big up is a gentleman by the name of Dean Forbes. Brent, can we get some horns? Okay,
He's my hero.
there you go. You know what I'm saying?
He literally is.
He's a legend, living legend, man.
Mm-hmm.
So for those who don't know, he's a British entrepreneur and a CEO, renowned for his expertise in leading and transforming technology and software companies. He was raised in South London in a single-parent household, right? He faced early challenges that shaped his resilience and drive. And his journey into the business world wasn't traditional. So after starting his career at a young age in sales, he moved into the software industry, which is where he discovered his passion for helping businesses to succeed. Forbes had a knack for identifying potential in struggling companies quickly, which led to opportunities for leadership, and he soon made a name for himself as a turnaround specialist. Over the past decade, Forbes has held high-profile roles as CEO of several companies, including Core HR, KDS, and most recently, Fortero. At Core HR, he drove exceptional growth, which led to a successful acquisition by the Access Group. Similarly, he led KDS through substantial transformation until it was acquired by American Express Global Business Travel. Currently, as the CEO of Forterra, which is a European ERP software provider, Forbes focuses on expanding the company's market share and product offerings. His impact on these businesses, his impact on these businesses demonstrates not only his skill in managing company turnarounds, but also his commitment to building strong, sustainable organizations that can compete globally. Beyond his business achievements, Forbes is an advocate for social mobility and diversity in the corporate world, using his own story as an example to inspire others. He champions equal opportunities in the workplace and actively supports initiatives aimed at opening doors for people from underrepresented backgrounds. His influence has been recognized through accolades like his inclusion in the Financial Times Top 100 BAME Leaders in Business. Forbes continues to be a significant figure in tech and business, the entire business landscape pretty much. Known not only for his results-driven approach to leadership, but also for his dedication to empowering the next generation of leaders, which is, to be fair, one of the things that I kind of see from him the most. And as you guys know, I think it was last Friday, we spoke about him topping the Power List 100 in this country, man. So yes, why are his contributions important? Well, obviously, since this is a TDA, his contributions are vital to the Black community, the business world as a whole anyway, but to the Black community specifically. Why? Because he exemplifies what's possible in an industry where Black professionals are often underrepresented, especially in leadership roles. His rise from a challenging background, like we mentioned, to a successful CEO in tech demonstrates that perseverance and talent can overcome societal barriers. Beyond personal success, Forbes actively advocates for diversity and equal opportunities, working to open doors for those from underrepresented backgrounds. His story not only breaks stereotypes, but also serves as a source of inspiration and empowerment, fostering hope and ambition within the Black community and pushing for systemic change in the corporate world. Big up Dean Forbes. There's a couple of things that he said, like quotes, when he was speaking on certain topics. On the topic of resilience and success, he said, it's not about where you start, it's about where you want to go and how hard you're willing to work to get there. When speaking about, he was asked about leadership and empowerment, he said, good leaders empowers others to achieve their best. When people feel valued and have purpose, the results follow naturally. And when speaking on diversity and inclusion, he said, talent is everywhere, but opportunity isn't. My mission is to help level the playing field so that background doesn't determine future success. Big up Dean Forbes, man. The woman that we want to big up today is somebody by the name of Margaret Yvonne Busby, also known as Nana Equia Akon. And she's a Ghanaian-born publisher, editor, writer, and broadcaster who's a resident in the UK. She was born in Accra in Ghana in 1944 and raised in the UK. And she became Britain's youngest and first Black female book publisher when she co-founded the publishing company Allison and Busby in 1967. Co-founding that same company, she entered an industry that was dominated by white men. She and her co-founder, Clive Allison, started with minimal resources, often selling books directly on the streets. Their vision was to make literature accessible and affordable, which helped them carve out a niche in the market. Busby was committed to publishing works by underrepresented authors, particularly those from the African diaspora. This not only filled a significant gap in the literary market, but also brought critical attention to voices that were often ignored. And beyond her work with Allison and Busby, Busby has edited numerous anthologies, including the groundbreaking Daughters of Africa in 1992, and its follow-up, The New Daughters of Africa in 2019, which showcased the work of women writers of African descent. Why is she important? Well, as mentioned before, she was the youngest and the first Black female book publisher in the UK. Throughout her career, Busby has been a vocal advocate for diversity in publishing. She has worked tirelessly to ensure that underrepresented voices are heard and celebrated. As a trailblazer in the publishing industry, she also helped to bring diverse voices to the forefront. She published works by notable authors such as Bushi Emecheta, C.L.R. James, and Sam Greenlee. And I'll just read off a couple of things that she said. She said, who's controlling what is put out there? Who is controlling the narrative? Who are the publishers? Unless those gatekeepers represent us all, then we have to rely on their impartiality or knowledge or whatever. I think we have to be involved. Women of African heritage have to be involved at every level. And she also said, if you say to anybody starting a publishing company, they'll say, oh, I haven't got enough money. I don't know enough. When I was 20, did I have any money? Did I know I wasn't meant to be doing this? No. I just said, that's what I want to do. Okay, I'll do it. So again, happy Black History Month to everybody. Big up Margaret Busby and big up Dean Forbes.
Big up y'all, them. Big up them. Let's get into our headlines.
All right, people. So our first set of headlines. Sir Keir Starmer will say in a speech today on Monday that the Labour's government first budget will embrace the harsh light of fiscal reality, but better days are ahead. Chancellor Rachel Reeves will deliver the budget on Wednesday, and setting the tone for that announcement, the Prime Minister will warn of unprecedented economic circumstances and the need to face the long-term challenges ignored for 14 years. Changes expected in the budget include a rise in employer national insurance of at least 1 percentage point and the scrapping of tax exemptions for private schools. Labour pledged in its manifesto that it will not increase taxes on working people and has explicitly ruled out rises in VAT, national insurance and income tax. But the party has been accused of hypocrisy over an expected decision to extend the freeze on income tax thresholds. Ministers have also come under pressure to spell out who falls within the term working people after Sir Keir suggested that those who make money from assets such as property will not fall within that definition. And on Monday, as I mentioned today, the Prime Minister is expected to say he will not offer the UK's problems as an excuse, adding, I expect to be judged on my ability to deal with this. Next headline, not too sure if you guys heard about this, and the Labour MP Mike Amesbury has been suspended from the party and has had the whip withdrawn after CCTV footage emerged appearing him punching a man to the ground. So in the footage obtained by the Daily Mail, the Runcorn and Helsby MP is apparently seen continuing to hit the man as he lies in the street. Cheshire Police said that a 55-year-old man has been voluntarily interviewed under caution in relation to the incident and has since been released pending further inquiries. It comes after a different video which was posted on X purported to show Amesbury shouting and swearing at a man lying in the street in Cheshire. A Labour Party spokesman said Mike Amesbury MP has been assisting Cheshire Police and their inquiries following an incident on Friday night. As these inquiries are now ongoing, the Labour Party has administratively suspended Mr. Amesbury's membership of the Labour Party pending an investigation. And our last headline, Donald Trump, he's back at it, man, and he set out his campaign closing message to voters in New York's Madison Square Garden. Trump was joined by big-name supporters like Elon Musk, Hulk Hogan, and Tucker Carlson as he laid out his final pitch to voters. He repeatedly returned to familiar themes like immigration and policing, as well as attacking the Biden-Harris administration over the economy and international affairs. The former president told the crowd that he supports a tax credit for people taking care of a family member or loved one, a policy we've not heard him back before. He once again described political opponents as the enemy within, a line which critics have seized on during this campaign. Elsewhere, the Vice President Kamala Harris campaign in Pennsylvania, which is one of the biggest targets for both campaigns, she used a speech to appeal for support from younger voters who are rightly impatient for change. And that's it for our headlines.
All right, it's time to get into what you say in topic of the day.
I didn't have the banana.
Brent.
Guys.
What happened?
Nothing.
I said it's topic of the day. Do things.
All right, people. So,
Listen, he's gonna call you that till further notice.
That's fine.
You hit a nerve. He's got PTSD. Oh dear.
It's the fact that his mouth. Why is your mouth open?
Is your mouth currently open down?
Yeah, it was. He's now hiding it behind the back, so I can't see.
Brent, can you move that new black sign? Let me see. Is this a shot?
No.
All right, what are we talking about today, man?
all right. So today, I ain't gonna spend too long on this. I know I say that usually, but we won't, right? Because we've got an amazing guest coming, and I must focus on that, right? But this is kind of tied to the last headline about the campaigns, because obviously we're pretty much nearing the end of the campaigns between Harris and Trump. The elections are going to be November 5th, so it's like what, about a week and a half away, right? So, if that anyway, about a week from now, I wanted to ask you guys this question. Yeah, have you guys seen a lot of these celebrities start to come out for these politicians now? And do you feel like there's something, I don't know, untoward about it? So basically, Brent, if you don't mind, he played the first video, yeah? And this is Leonardo DiCaprio, and you got Robert De Niro basically endorsing Kamala Harris, right? Mm-hmm. And the vim, to be fair though, De Niro, he's always had vim for Trump. I remember maybe like a year or two ago, maybe even longer, he was talking about, if Trump wins, I'm leaving the country, right? So, so basically, I just want you guys to see it. And then I'm going to play another clip from Usher. And I want to ask you guys, do you feel like it's genuine support for Harris? Yeah, and again, I'm not trying to make this about Harris. I'm just kind of making it about any of the leaders. But in Harris's case, is this genuine support for Harris? Do you feel like they're paid? Or potentially, do you feel like they are on the Diddy tapes? And so they've been blackmailed to support and make sure she gets into power? Brent.
Did you see Amber Rose's thing about, oh, she want to be me so bad? Like the Beyonce thing. Mm-hmm. So you know Beyonce came out and spoke, exactly, right? Yeah. And Amber Rose, basically, the comments was like, oh, she literally want to be me because she stole her speech, apparently.
Oh, bye. Move it, nah.
No, Brent, you know I'm scared of those things. I don't even like seeing it as a cartoon, please.
I can't believe this is. I actually cannot believe it.
That's Brent is rattled by me this morning.
Do you know what? No, but do you know what? Do you know what's so cheeky about that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this man always says he needs good notice to do graphics for guests. He needs 40 days and 40 nights notice. But now in 2 minutes, you're able to come up with that on the spot.
Because
you're crazy. Because in Black History Month,
because you're triggered.
He's so disgusting. You know when you were doing it, yeah? In real time, looking at his face, he couldn't believe what he was saying.
I know.
Right, you morphed into, you know. Like you're sitting there, but he wasn't seeing you.
No.
You know, people when people are really hungry and there's talking to someone that's seen a burger, he wasn't seeing you. Crazy scenes. Well, if they keep on doing that show.
The reason why it's different.
Do you know what it is? It's Black History Month, man. Like, go on. The reason why it's different.
The reason why it's different is because that particular thingamajiggy.
Yeah.
Morning.
Morning.
Got here safely. All right.
You know, I saw 9:50. I said, "Excuse me, you haven't changed your clocks."
The graphics I normally say I need time for is the pictures of the guests, so I could basically do what I need to do. But this one, I could just grab that from Google, green screen, and then slap the green screen off.
How did you make it? How did you make it?
And that's why I missed what you're saying.
That's what you're doing.
That's what you're doing. You're so busy.
Okay, but how did you get it to move?
That's lit.
I threw it into Premiere Pro and animated it real quick.
Oh wow! So you
that's so crazy.
Everything just to enforce the fact that you think I'm a rat.
I needed a couple of seconds just you to see it.
You should have never told me that you have that in your belt.
I'm serious.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm gonna make a request.
All right, okay.
I'm gonna make some requests. But yeah, sorry, Iman. Just one more time, context before we play the videos.
Yes. Basically, just asking the question: do you feel like some of these celebs are like genuinely wanting to come out and support these candidates, right? Or are they being paid? Or perhaps are they in some compromising positions on the Diddy tapes?
That's interesting. I want to know how you link that.
It will become apparent on the Usher one.
Oh gosh.
I was gonna say why Diddy? Like, yeah, okay.
Find out.
Let me let you land.
Stay tuned. Who's this? What's the man's name again?
De Niro,
that's it.
A Hollywood heartthrob in a brand new role.
What's up, Philly?
Leonardo DiCaprio endorsing a new leading lady.
The choice could not be clearer, and that choice is Vice President Kamala Harris.
The climate change activist hardly warming to Donald Trump.
They're trying to quiet your voice.
DiCaprio appeared alongside fellow A-lister and friend Robert De Niro.
It makes me so angry. We're here talking about a piece of like Donald Trump.
The 81-year-old has long disliked the former president.
Let him die in a jail cell.
This Tinseltown double act almost too much for the locals.
Leonardo DiCaprio, my heart's beating out of my chest.
Yet more star power out in support for Kamala Harris had this Democratic crowd on their feet and in raptures. But with 10 days to go, particularly here in this crucial state of Pennsylvania, they know there is plenty more work to be done yet. What if Donald Trump becomes president?
Right now, I'm laser focused on turning out to vote for Philadelphia to ensure that that question you asked in no way, shape, or form becomes a reality.
Because over the next 10 days, we'll decide the direction of this country, and it is all in our hands.
All right. So, Brent, can you play the next clip, please? I see in the chat people saying, oh, this happens on both sides. Yes, it does, 100%. But this particular one doesn't always.
You know, Trump ruled out Elon Musk yesterday.
Elon Musk was there.
Taylor Swift has now endorsed Kamala Harris.
Yes.
She was very, I thought, very smart the way she did it. It was like, you do your research and you decide for yourselves, but I, a single cat woman, as she points to, I am voting for Kamala. Do you think, I always say that in this emergency that we're in, I think that the Who's artists should come out and speak for Kamala against Donald Trump, because he is an existential threat to the country. What do you say to that?
You know what? I don't get too deep into politics. I didn't get a chance to watch the debate last night. I obviously have been watching like everybody else. I think voting is an individual choice. And I think that you're right. You have to look at the reality of the country that we are and the country that we want to be, and find the candidate that you feel both are who fits the category of where we want to be. And that's it. And that's what you vote based off of.
Taylor Swift has now endorsed Kamala Harris.
I was going to say, this ain't... Is there another one?
Why is he in this?
So this is him basically saying, I'm not telling you what to do.
Oh, but is there an update?
Yeah, but you can't tell me what to do anyway.
Yeah.
Outside of those things, anyway, outside of those rallies.
Apparently there's another one.
So he got a call.
Several calls.
Took him up as well.
Yeah, you don't want to the beige.
Let me make certain that I'm talking to all my AT aliens out here. We ready? We what? Oh, yes, yes. Oh, y'all want to keep going? You know, normally I'm up here to entertain, but today was something far, far more significant for Atlanta and all of Georgia. You know, it's really great to be home. I'm here, home for my past, present, future tour, but took a quick break from that to come here, share a few words with you about the significance of this moment. I feel that this is a momentous opportunity for each and every one of us. You know, it's just 17 days away from a very important election, as we all know, and we have the opportunity to choose a new generation of leadership for our country. We all know what it means to be supportive, but ladies and gentlemen, we are here to support the next president of the United States, Kamala Harris, ladies and gentlemen. I'm supporting Vice President Harris because she fights for everyone's rights, for freedom. And it doesn't matter where you're from. She has a vision for our country that includes everyone. A vision that supports small businesses, invests in our health, in our communities, and gives everyone a chance to get ahead. But we got work to do, Atlanta. ATL, we got work to do to get this campaign across the finish line. I'm counting on you. We can make a difference in this election, Georgia, but we got to be committed to do it. Are you ready? We've lived through some very unfortunate realities of our past. However, we must learn from those moments and understand that the voice that we have makes the difference that we want to see. We have to strive to not allow our past to define our future.
Wrap up there, Brent. All right, guys. So obviously, I think the Usher one's clear, isn't it? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Neutral ground. A couple weeks later, obviously, there might have been calls. There might have been maybe an awakening. I don't know. But yeah.
But then with like media like The View, yeah, can you actually tell your audience? Can you influence your audience? So that's why you can't do that when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah, I think we've had people do that before. Who was it? Oh, I can't remember. But they basically, I think Charlemagne at first was trying to not say anything. Yeah. But then he was like, no, obviously I'm making it clear. I'll be voting for it. Yeah. So they've tried to put a couple of people on the spot. And I think in a lot of those situations, they've kind of, they've relented and said something. Yeah. But with this Usher one, to me, it just sounded like, okay, cool, I'm going to be professional, be neutral, and guys, up to you. But then obviously, shortly after, we see him campaigning, wanting to sing songs, taking a break from his tour.
But then what was the question they asked him, though, on The View thing, though? Wasn't it to slight Trump? She's going to come on camera. Wasn't it to slight Trump?
Yes. And she was basically saying that another celebrity did it. It was nice how this person did it. Basically trying to tee him up to basically do it himself. Yeah, man. But he was like, I'm not.
Listen, yeah, no. I see why he did what he did. I don't think he was like, I don't think it comes across as if he's being paid off or anything like that. But if I see that you're trying to start something, you're trying to get headlines, you're trying to do clickbait stuff, I'm not playing your silly little game. Because you know full well who it is that I am going to be voting for and like what side I'm on. Don't have me on your platform to do your bidding. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. But I don't know why did you get Diddy?
That's what I said again. I'm still waiting for the penny to drop.
It's only because you see
of their affiliation.
And you see it in people's comments saying, "Oh, it's like all these people are kind of affiliated with Diddy, have been known to be at a Diddy party before, and now all of a sudden they're all coming forward to now support Kamala Harris, hoping that if she does make it to
none of them are going to pardon.
It's going to erase."
No,
the madness from happening.
You never know.
It wouldn't, because that's why I was finding. I think I mentioned this last week. How I always find it interesting with I think it was when was it Lil Durk or something when he got arrested. Okay. And I was saying how it's always funny these political things that happen where whenever it's time they need the public's votes, you're fine to use these gangster rappers that you think rap about murder and rap about stealing, rap about all the things. You're happy to use them for your political gain. But then once you get in office, you're trying to get people like them, trying to get them out of here. And then in the same breath, you say, oh, these are not good role models. We should not be letting them have these platforms, blah, blah. But then the first chance you get to use their platform, you do that. So I don't even think it's like I don't think it links to the Diddy stuff because again, Kamala Harris, if any of those people that have come on stage and endorsed her, whatever the case might be, if they commit a crime and they need to go to jail, she will be saying, well... all the best.
It's above me.
It's above her. Literally, will be above her. She might not even see the paperwork. So, you know.
Okay. Well, that kind of leads me on to the other question, which is, does it matter to you? Well, obviously it matters to you. You made it clear, right?
Yeah.
That these guys will kind of reach out for these people. Like most time in the year, they're the enemy. Now, if they can help bring votes, thingy. You know what I'm saying? Is that really... As much as it may seem like a double standard, is it the worst thing in the world if it encourages people to vote?
No, that's the thing. So it's not even a thing where it matters to me.
Okay.
Because I live a straight and narrow child, so I'm good. No one has to use me. But I think it's good for people. It's good for people to be encouraged to vote, and I actually like the fact that they do that. I like that because there is obviously this stan culture, which I think is unfortunate, but we live where we live, where a lot of people would rather listen to celebrities than probably their own parents sometimes, because you don't keep saying celebrities are your kids' role models. So here we are. So I like that it's good because, again, politics is very important. So anything that encourages people to take politics very seriously and actually go out and vote and learn about policies and stuff like that, make it interesting for them however you want to, that's fair. Yeah. So not necessarily, because I think if you're a celebrity who is involved in heinous things that you know is a crime, and you think because Donald Trump or Kamala Harris has invited you on stage to do this, you feel that you're going to get a pardon, you're just an egg and you're going to get the day you deserve for being so dumb and slow.
But it happens.
Who?
It didn't happen last time with Lil Wayne.
What's Lil Wayne doing? What criminal things is Lil Wayne doing?
When was that?
Apart from abusing his own body.
There was something. I think there was like a gun charge or something. I think. Brent, can you ask ChatGPT, please? It was something. Then he was in pictures with Trump. Then shortly after, charges went away.
To be fair, though, Trump is, well, let me not even stand people. I me to get sued. But yeah, who knows?
Yeah,
but,
so...
Yeah, I personally think it's a bad thing. I think people do need to vote. I think sometimes, obviously, we see here as well with British politics, where people feel like if I don't like this party or that party or whatever party that it is, I'm just not going to vote. But that's not going to get us results, because then you're going to keep complaining. If you're not going to vote at all and you're going to stop complaining, then fair enough. But you're going to not vote and then you're going to be complaining about the situations and whatever else. So if it's what they can do, heck, the next British one is to get Stormzy. Get Stormzy on stage, get Skepta, get all these people, and you might get more, what's it called? Get Burna Boy, in fact. And you might get more, voter turnout. So I personally think it's a bad thing, because I think that it's, but I think that the people that obviously they get, not all of them are morally right, but also as well as politicians, a lot of them are not morally right. So it's Spider-Man. The same people, they're just in different areas of criminality. Really and truly. Different crimes.
In the chat.
He got pardoned in 2020.
Okay.
And I think, yes, it was a firearm on a private jet.
Yes.
That he was facing. But Trump said, all right, vote for me or come and endorse me and I'll pardon you. And he did. Yeah.
I'm seeing in the chat people saying same thing with Kodak Black.
What, Trump?
Black. Yeah.
Well, see, there's a pattern here. Because I want to know who Kamala has promised to pardon.
That's what I'm saying. We might be seeing, you never know.
But no one's done anything for her to be pardoning, though.
Till we find out.
Because from what we're hearing, Usher is the victim in these situations.
I mean, but people are saying he was a victim at first, but then he kind of...
Yeah, but that's the thing, though, with abuse. Unfortunately, you can't expect a victim of abuse to make logical decisions as someone who's never done that. Do you get what I mean? Like, if someone's a victim of abuse, unfortunately, sometimes that cycle does continue. So there's just that.
True indeed. So I guess the last question would be: so you guys obviously you don't necessarily feel insulted if they're bringing out people who I guess the day before you feel wasn't interested in politics at all.
Yeah. And
then all of a sudden now they're there at the forefront. Trying to tell you, vote for this particular person. He's got a great heart. He's going to do this for the country, etc., etc. You just see it as well. It is what it is, sort of thing.
Yeah, and I think also people need to use wisdom. Like, you can still make your own decisions, innit? Do you know what I mean? So I think it doesn't bother me because I don't buy into like everything that I'm told. Yeah. Like I have my own brain. So yeah, like I'll never... It can't impact me, basically.
Okay.
If you get what I mean.
Okay. I was going to ask our guest if she wanted to say something. Nope.
No. But no, I don't find it insulting because that is like exactly what Gina said. But I think that the people that they are in a way being insulted, unfortunately, they're too much of fans and idols of these people to know that they're being insulted. So it's a win-win for everybody, really.
But yes. All right. Like I said, it's going to be a short topic of the day. Yep. So yeah, we can wrap it up there.
All right, let's get to more headlines.
All right, people. So, trigger warning on this one, guys. Approximately 70 people have been killed in Israeli airstrikes in the past day. This is what health officials in Gaza have said, as Israel's renewed campaign in the north of the Strip shows no sign of slowing, despite the revival of ceasefire talks after a 3-month-long hiatus. Separately, one person was killed when a truck rammed into a bus stop in Ramat Hasharon, which is north of Tel Aviv, on Sunday, in what Israeli police are treating as a suspected terrorist attack. About 40 people were injured to varying degrees, some seriously, and some were taken to nearby hospitals. That's what police have said. The Palestinian militant groups Hamas and Islamic Jihad praised the suspected attack, but did not claim it. Elsewhere on Sunday, family members of the approximately 100 Israeli hostages who remain captive in Gaza disrupted a speech by Benjamin Netanyahu at a televised memorial event for the victims of the Hamas attack, forcing the Israeli Prime Minister to stop his address. Many in Israel blame him for the intelligence and the response failures of 7th of October and accuse him of dragging his heels on a deal in Gaza to bring the hostages home for political reasons. Next headline, and Iran's leadership has said it is weighing a response to this weekend's Israeli airstrikes as the country called on the UN Security Council to meet on Monday. Iran's president, Masoud Pezeshkian, said that Tehran would not be looking for a war, but would respond appropriately to Israel's strikes. He also went on to say that we do not seek war, but we will defend the rights of our nation and country. We will give an appropriate response to the aggression of the Zionist regime. And our last headline takes us all the way to Japan, where Japan's ruling coalition has lost its majority in a punishing set of results from Sunday's general election, throwing the country into a kind of political instability not seen for decades. So with the final constituency accounted for, the Prime Minister, Shigeru Ishiba's Liberal Democratic Party, the LDP, and its junior coalition partner had just 215 seats, which is down from 279 and well short of the 233 needed to form a government. It's the worst result for the LDP, which has ruled Japan for 65 of the past 69 years. So since 2009, when it briefly fell out of power. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the headlines. Time to pay them bills.
Cool, let's get into Word on Road. Okay, so last week I talked about Blac Chyna, aka Angela White, and her engagement to her fiance now. His name is Derek. Wait a minute, well, can't find it. It's Derek something anyway, but he's like Derek Milano. That's it. He's a producer and stuff like that. So, anyways, the new trailer for Love and Hip Hop Miami has come out, and she's basically in there. She's gonna be on the show with her fiance, but with Blac Chyna, obviously people have seen Blac Chyna kind of go through, like she's grown. I feel like she's publicly grown. People knew of her what they knew of her, kind of like that quote unquote ratchet kind of behavior. And then she had a child with Rob Kardashian, who they've got a child called Dream. There was that whole thing. But basically people have seen her life do a 180 in that she's a Christian now. She got baptized. She's a lot calmer. She dresses differently. She's just like a lot more. She's just grown basically. So when it was shown that she's going to be on the next season of Love and Hip Hop Miami, a lot of fans basically expressed their disappointment the disappointment that she's going to be part of the show. And obviously Love and Hip Hop is known for what Love and Hip Hop is known for. It's known for just ratchet behavior and low down, dirty. They go low, you go lower kind of behavior. And people basically expressed that she's come so far in her journey and she's doing so well. And like, why would she basically go on such a platform that doesn't appear to be in line with how she lives today? But she has responded to it actually, which I like. She says that God has been using me in various spheres to demonstrate his grace and bring people into his kingdom. I will remain obedient. Before passing judgment, I encourage you to check out this new season of Love and Hip Hop, where you see me, Angela White, as a mother, businesswoman, fiance, and advocate for sobriety and positivity. Actually, I don't think she's going to go on then relapse into like negativity. I think she's going to be very positive. Because with the show anyway, with Love and Hip Hop, obviously the negative people are the ones that get the most shine. But there are always positive people there who do like very positive things and don't get into fights and they're just chilled and just like kind of that reasoning board. I think I just made that up. But yeah, you get what I mean. What's the saying I'm looking for? The person that helps you reason. That one person that's like sound of reason? No, I don't know. Okay, never mind. But yeah, anyway.
Sounding board?
Sounding board. That's really going to bug me. I'm going to be up at night time thinking about it. Sounding board.
Sounding board.
I think sounding board. Yeah, I said reasoning board. Yeah, sounding board. Yeah. So I actually think it's going to be...
Not the well done.
I actually think it's going to...
Brent used to be my sounding board.
Well, I don't think he wants that role anymore.
Until he became better. Yeah.
Well, that'll do it. But yeah, so I think it's actually gonna be positive. I love her growth. I love the 180 her life did. I think she's walking in a new light, and I think she's going to bring that to the show as well. So big up her for that anyway. And I think she's also there. Her man is the one who basically, I feel like she's there because he's on the show, and obviously we'll help him with music and stuff like that. And Love and Hip Hop does do that for producers and singers and artists and stuff like that. So we'll see. Next is about Nick Cannon, who was on a show and he was talking about when he was married to Mariah Carey. Can I just say that this is why you never date insecure men? Never date an insecure man. Never date a man that feels like his light is dim because your light is shining bright. That is the worst thing. Voice of reason. Thank you, TM. Oh, that would have really bugged me. Thank you, TM. Voice of reason. That's what I meant. But yeah, never date a man that feels like his light is dim because yours is shining brighter. It's crazy. But anyways, he basically talks about his insecurity when he was with Mariah Carey. I don't know what he expected. I don't know what on earth, as a man who's with Mariah Carey, I don't know what. He did say
that she was the biggest artist that, Mariah is big time anyway.
Been big time. So I don't know what you thought was going to happen here. But anyways, he was basically on he was on a show called Ray Daniels Presents. It's a podcast, and he was talking about obviously his relationship with her, and I think they got married in 2008, and I think they got divorced in 2014. So that's about 6 years. But anyways, he was basically saying, I'm just going to read you some of the stuff that he was saying on the podcast. He says that he would lay up at night thinking, is this who I am? Like, is this what my life is supposed to be? He says that he didn't actually really care about what the world thought because the perception is what it is. He says that people are going to love you one day and hate you the next day. But he says that he could care less about that. But going to himself, it was more the pressure of, what am I? Who am I? He says he got married in his 20s, and he says, you know what that means? I mean, to be fair, I agree with that part. I feel like getting married in your 20s, especially when it's like early 20s, I don't feel like you know yourself well enough to be getting married, but my opinion, child. So he says that I got married in my 20s. You know what I mean? He says he got married, to the biggest star in the world at the age of 20, in his 20s. He says his trajectory was here, and then basically saying like here, and then she was already like above and beyond. He says that he basically struggled to have his own identity outside of the relationship, and that he got comfortable with her. And he said that, you know, for example, like she's got islands. So he was like, he'd wake up at like midday and people would bringing him steaks on a platter. To be fair, if I married someone like Mariah, I would, listen, it's a great day. Every day is a great day. He says he would lay up at night thinking, is this who he is? He said, am I Mariah's man? Well, yeah. He says, is this what my life is supposed to be? And he says there was nothing wrong with it, but he struggled also as well with the hierarchy and the masculine. He struggled with his masculinity in terms of his hierarchy in the family, especially when they welcomed their kids. He says he was carrying a purse, the diaper bag, and you know, he's standing in the corner like, wait, she's rocking being the alpha. That's interesting though, because I find that when men have to be the ones to kind of be the child carer, that all of a sudden now it's like an insulting position. It's a position that's like, it's given, I don't even know, slavery, or it's given submission.
What's wrong with holding a
But that's the problem though. But the thing is, like, when you're the one,
she's carrying you wanted to carry baby back, like everything on her head,
and that's the problem. So my thing is, how I always say that sometimes I find it interesting when men try to make, oh no, like being the homemaker is not that bad. Being the child, it's never that bad until you have to be it. And all of a sudden now you feel like you are less than a human being. But then you never stop to think that perhaps it's how these women feel. When you got her being the carer, the this, the nanny, the cleaner, the cook, the this, the everything, you never stop to think about how it is that she must feel? Because I believe that every single person in life, most people anyway, have dreams and aspirations and stuff like that. So when it is that woman then has to be reduced to just being a mother and being a child carer and being the homemaker, there's never any thought for it. Until you, for a moment, have to then take that position, all of a sudden now you feel like you're a slave. Anyway, zero sympathy, zero empathy from me. But so he talked about how, you know, when he was carrying the purse and carrying the diaper bag and he's standing in the corner, he's thinking, wow, like she's really enjoying being the alpha. Well. And then he says that, and then the podcast was like, well, she deserves like to have someone who's supportive or whatever. And he's like, yeah, but she's like, basically she needs a man who is happy to be the one in the corner carrying the diaper and So yeah, he basically just talked about how, you know, the insecurities he dealt with in their relationship, and in their marriage and whatever else. But It's interesting because I do believe, I always say that I feel like stay-at-home parents don't get the respect that they absolutely deserve, and whether that's a man or woman. But it's interesting because the way society is set up, I feel like men who are stay-at-home parents get more respect than women who are stay-at-home parents. Do you remember that? There's always a big deal made about, oh my gosh, the dad is the one at home, and oh my gosh, the dad's the one doing the school runs. Okay. But anyways, that's what Nakana was going through in their marriage. So, love and light to him. It's also very interesting, though, how he felt in that relationship and in that marriage that he wasn't the man, he wasn't the alpha, and she was greater than him. And then they broke up, only for him to then go and impregnate, 20 women now? I don't even know how many women. I've lost count.
Is that like a complex thing? Like,
I think it's a complex.
Because it sounds like...
Because basically,
it literally sounds like...
It's a complex.
It's his way of making himself feel...
better, but like more manly. Because think about it, Mariah didn't need him. Yeah, Mariah didn't need him. So, but what he's gone and done is he's had kids with other women who are forever going to need him. Women that are not on his level, socially or financially or whatever the case is.
That's an ego thing,
sick.
right?
It's sick. It's a very sick and twisted, because now you created so many broken homes. Furthermore, anyway, the guy has got some illness that he knows his time here on earth is limited. All our time is limited, but he knows that his is limited for certain. And then you've gone ahead and you've had these children with so many women who you feel like they need you. It's definitely a complex. It's an insecure complex. Don't date insecure men. I've done it. That was the worst phase of my life. That was the worst phase. All they do is project the insecurity on you. All they do is try and make you feel lower than you are. All they do is when they see that people like you, people care about you, like people love you, they will always question and make you feel like you're not even deserving of the love that you're given. I've been through the ghetto, child. I walked, I crawled so the rest of you can walk. Don't date insecure men. Never do it. Even if it's the last man on earth, trust me, you're better off single. Anyway, there's that. And then sadly as well, RAYE, the singer, shared that her songwriting book has been stolen, man. So you gotta wait for a long time for a second album, she said. But basically, she shared, it's my birthday and my car got stolen with all my songwriting books in the boot. So no second album anytime soon. Love you, bye.
Wow.
You know what I think, when things get burgled or like stuff like that happens,
Yeah.
I always think like, when you see things that you know are not really going to be of value.
That's not of value to you.
Why did you take it? Like, why would you take someone's diary? Or like, those kind of things that they can't get back.
Yeah. But I feel
because you're not going to... I highly doubt you're going to sell her songwriting books. And if you were to sell them, she'd probably get wind.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? So it's like, that has no value to you. So why would you take it? Why wouldn't you just leave it there?
But I feel like they steal, and then when they go through the stuff, they see that. But I feel like just hand it to a police station. Because anyone that gets something stolen would report it to the police. So then just help me find it back, kind of thing. I always find it sad when people share online, like, say like they've got like a necklace or like a bracelet or something that their parent gave and the parent is no longer alive. And it's just like, you just can't get their stuff back. But love and light to her, that is very, like, that's just very horrible. I feel like being stolen from anyway is such a violation. And then how much more, and obviously she was clearing up awards upon awards with her last album, but she's very talented, so I'm sure she'll be fine, but it is difficult. It's not nice. But yeah, that is all for me today. Let's get into the interview. How long do you want it to be?
Yeah. Because I came, this is my last time I went on an interview, I was in Nigeria.
Ah.
So I just turned up and I didn't know what the questions were. I just sat there. I was on a Sasu's show. She used to Sasu Benedio. And I just chatted. It was really nice.
Oh, wait, put the mic to your...
Yeah. What do I have to do?
No, sorry, Brent, can you help over the mic, please, Brent?
Nobody set me up. Come on.
All
Right, how near, how far? Hello?
I'll read the levels so you don't.
Oh, it's just, the pillows. You can move that around.
Oh,
okay, that's perfect. Yeah, there you are.
I didn't even get a chance to brush my hair. Okay, straight from the train.
No, you look good. You look lovely. How are you? So please introduce yourself actually so people know who you are.
My name is Patricia Lamour. Where am I supposed to be looking? You?
Anybody? Yeah, it could be any of us.
So I'm the CEO of Aspire Education Group, and I'm part of the team that's actually pushing something called Future Ed. But we'll get more into that soon.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we have a game that we play with all of our guests.
I saw that by someone else, and I thought, I'm going to come out as a real fool. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't, because if it's anything to do with general knowledge, and I'm listening to what you young people, I don't know anything. But anyway, let's go. Let's go.
I mean, someone's already scored 0, so you know, you'll be fine. I can't remember who it was, but
did someone actually score 0?
Not one question was answered.
Yeah.
Here we go.
They only got their preferences, just about.
Yeah.
Really? And even
and just about. That's to think. So what do you mean you don't know what you like? Yeah, I can't remember who it was, which is good. I guess I don't have to shame them, but yeah. So there will be like preference questions, so like blue or black, kind of. Pick which one you like, and then there'll be like general knowledge questions where there is an actual answer.
Yeah,
but it's not bad. You've got 1 minute to answer as many as you can, and it's over a beat. But you know that's just in the background. Yeah, and if you don't know anyone, just say pass, because then the more you go through, the more likely you are to get higher scores.
Okay, thank you very much.
Everybody ready?
Yes.
Ready to go, Patricia?
Yeah.
Who's
Let's start with Gina.
Okay.
Ready? Start with Gina, then we'll go down this way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I start?
Brent, you ready?
All right, 3.
No, Gina, me, and you.
3, 2, 1.
Piano or guitar?
Piano.
How many inches are in a foot?
12.
Which US city is known as the Big Apple?
I can't remember.
Rain or snow?
Rain.
Who was the first black woman to win an Oscar?
I don't know.
What's the smallest prime number?
1.
Swimming or running?
Swimming.
What is the longest river in the world?
Is it the Nile?
When did Nelson Mandela become the president of South Africa?
Oh my goodness. I can't remember.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
How many planets are in the solar system?
Wow. I should know this as a science teacher. Pass.
Gillian Joseph presents the news at 10 on what platform?
Pass.
Bali or Thailand?
Beg your pardon?
Bali or Thailand?
Bali.
In which sport would you perform a slam dunk?
That one.
What's the main ingredient in sushi?
Salmon or fish? Raw fish?
No.
That's it. It's
No,
done.
it's rice.
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 They've all
Oh
got
yes,
rice.
it's easy, true. But I'm thinking of the fish I like. So how many did I? How many did I do?
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't like the
I
worst.
didn't even think it was bad.
Yeah, it wasn't. To be fair. It
Gracious me,
wasn't.
I should
you
have
got
known
1,
Nelson Mandela. Oh Lord have
2.
mercy.
Oh.
2.
You did the basketball one.
Yeah,
You got 3.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
I
you
got
got
3.
3.
Thank you.
Well done.
Yeah, could be worse.
Yeah, it could have been worse.
Could be worse. So you were a science teacher?
That's one of my hats. I started off as a youth worker actually.
Oh, wow, okay.
I actually wanted to be a doctor.
Oh,
that's
nice.
that's what I'd aimed for.
Yeah.
And I remember my first interview when I wanted to go into medical school. I was asked why didn't I want to be a nurse, and I think that was to do with the fact of my
You're a
colour.
woman, of course.
Yeah. But
God forbid you aim high.
Yeah. So, and then when I went from youth work, and then I realised I was only. Now I'm going to show my age. Yeah. My first job, my first full-time job, I earned £2,500 a year.
Excuse me.
Exactly. That shows you how old I am.
But was that good around that time?
No, it was very bad. It was not
you
good
never
at
know.
all.
Sometimes, like, if we look at it today, it might be worth 100k.
I reminisced the other day on my first job, and I was like, I got paid £3.10 an hour.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I was paying 50p an hour, I think, that time.
Wow.
But anyway,
50p.
I remember getting a raise, and it was a big thing.
You know, there's some kids that don't even know what 50p coin
Exactly.
looks like.
Literally, I've never seen it. Yeah.
That's crazy.
But yeah, so I was a youth worker.
Yeah.
And then I actually wanted to. I saw that if I went into got qualification, my pay would jump from $2,500 to $8,500 a year.
Oh,
That's
wow.
a big jump.
Okay, that's a big jump, yeah.
So I thought, what's the quickest thing I can do? So I had done physiology and biochemistry because I wanted to go into medicine.
Medicine, yeah.
But it was because of what was happening to black youth, and my brother was picked up by the police under sus. That's another thing. That helped to criminalise all our young black youth back in the late 70s, early 80s. So I just went into teaching. So, and I thought, okay, what can I teach? Okay, I'll teach chemistry.
I hated science in schools.
Oh, you see, I wasn't your teacher.
No, that's why I really hated. Like, I found it so hard.
Yeah, no, you see, this is it. This is a quality. Yeah, the art of a teacher is to make difficult things easier.
No, I agree.
Because I didn't like physics, but big up Miss Sampson. I love physics.
Honest, if I think about my science teachers, none of them were it.
She's actually, she's a black teacher. And she always like, I loved having black teachers who obviously, because they were older, they're aware of like the social issues in society and stuff like that. And they don't bombard young black kids with all of that stuff. But where they can, they look out for you and they kind of teach you about the reality of the world we lived in. So she was very much like that. I hope she's well, actually. I might try and look her up on Facebook.
I had a black teacher who was like, not the opposite, but he was like really hard on us. And I get that. But you know, when you're a child, it's like,
you don't understand.
I didn't get it. Like, I don't need the additional because we're black and, you know, it's hard for us, so we have to do well, which I appreciate. But he was so hard on us. Like, it was like, give us a break. Like, you're worse than my parents. Literally.
So then how did you get started in what you do today then? So wait, did you end up being a nurse or a doctor?
No. I did physiology and biochemistry, finished, and then the there was all this. My brother got picked up on sus, which was a 1840 Vagrancy Act.
Oh, okay.
The police used to use it to clear the streets of suspected persons.
Oh, that's called sus?
Yeah, that's why it's called sus. So I was part of a thing that was, get rid of sus. So I was part of that campaign. Okay. And then I worked in the black community. That's what I wanted to do. Yeah. So I worked in Tooting in South London. Okay. So I'm a South Londoner. Okay. And then later got headhunted to work at the GLC, which is the Greater London Council, which doesn't exist. All these things don't exist anymore. And at that time when everything was going, I mean, everybody who was an activist, everybody who was trying to change things came down there. It was called municipal socialism, basically. Yeah. Okay. That was a term for it. And I worked with people like that's how I know Diane Abbott, Keith Fires, Bernie Grant, and Paul Boateng. They were all at that time the sort of first 4 black or Asian MPs. Yeah. And it was a time of change. Everything we did was going on the Evening Standard straight away because they were against what was happening. But we helped to bring in Black History Month in 1986. That's amazing. 84. So that's how long I've been around.
That's a lot of good work.
So then, okay, so what was it like pitching? I guess you would have to pitch it. Black History Month.
Well, we didn't start off with Black History Month. Yeah. We started off with 25th anniversary of Marcus Garvey and also the AU, because the OAU was sort of coming to an end and the AU was starting. And we started off with the whole history of Black history lectures because that was something that was so new. So we flew in people from the States because that's, they were ahead in that sense. And we just packed out like the Institute of Education and major central London venues to talk about our history. And you could just see, the difference it was making. Because the narrative is, it's reclaiming the narrative this year, this time now. That's so important still. And, that's what I find so frustrating after all these years. It seems like we've gone backwards.
Wow.
It really does. It seems like we've gone backwards. In terms of we don't have, sufficient black people in positions of power in decision-making, particularly in education, anywhere and everywhere. We don't have sufficient. And that's why we really do need to pull together, which is why I've come all this way to speak to you all.
We appreciate it.
Yeah? No, because, and also I want to learn. I just found it fascinating. I was listening to all this. I thought, I'm really getting up to date. It's really
That's
good.
why TDA is here.
Yeah. No, but so I thought, I wonder if they're going to be bored because I'm going to be talking about things from sort of long ago. But
it's very relevant. Like you said, it's very relevant today because, like, obviously with the UK, there is a lot of conversations every year anyway, Black History Month. And there are people who think that it shouldn't be a thing. Almost like Black History Month should be every month.
Exactly.
And so it shouldn't be limited to 1 month. And that's fair. However, though, because of that, people think that some people think that it's worth dismissing it in October, but then speaking to someone who was part of that fight for it to even be a thing,
I'm telling you,
that's a major thing. And hopefully people that have that mindset of, oh, it just is whatever, just knowing how much that you and the people that had to fight. So many people, do you know what I mean? Hopefully that would even change the mindset. So it's very, very relevant to today.
Yeah. I mean, the guy behind it who worked within my team was Adai Sybil. He was from Ghana.
Yeah.
So I'm still in touch with him. He's a good friend.
Yeah.
I mean, we've always got to reclaim the narrative, and we've got to make it fit to what young people want today now. Because I think you've got to start from where they are, and then you put in the stuff that you know.
Yes, that's
not just trying to sort of shovel it down their throats, you know, when we were this and how we were that. Because they'll say, well, how are we today then?
Yeah, exactly.
Why is it? And how is it?
I wanted to ask you a question. You said you feel as though we've gone backwards, right?
Yeah.
And that there isn't sufficient voices.
Yeah.
Is this because maybe the amount of voices that had an impact back then were more numerous? Or is it because the voices that are today are not as strong and pushed to the front?
I think, all right, I'm going to say it. I think, you know, more young people think, you know, that they're against the system by just sort of clicking something on there. But there's one thing, clicking something online and actually going out on the streets. Is another thing, clicking something online and working to change policies. Policies change over about decades. Wow. It's not a short-term thing. So, and also, I think there are more people who are aware now. But then it was kind of like new and sort of everybody was coming together. So, for instance, you know, when I say backwards, I think particularly in the education system, because at that time we had Black Youth Penmanship Awards. We encouraged, there was an awards for Black young people all over London to write something. And it was very, you know, very deep, very critical, and we were honouring that. You know, we had a library, we had lists of books that everyone should have in their library. I don't even know if they're there now, but, you know, we were doing that back in the 80s. So, and we had, for instance, we had free law centres because a lot of the kids were being picked up and they didn't know their rights and they couldn't get. So we funded those at the GLC. We funded law centres, so in all areas, so that young people could go and get, you know, free legal advice. Also, another thing that we did, well, I did in particular, because at that time, just as I rose to become the deputy head of the ethnic minorities unit, but I had a baby. My baby is now 39, Wow. So I made sure there was childcare at every meeting, you know, and that women, you know, and children could be there. Exactly.
There you go.
Because, you know, this is important.
Well.
This is important.
Yeah.
And when I speak to sort of young people, you know, your age, and then they say, oh, you did that then? I said, yes, we did. You know, so really, for all that we've done, you should be much higher. But I think one of the key things where we made a mistake, we depended on grants. We didn't push wealth creation. We didn't push entrepreneurship sufficiently. We depend, you know, so therefore, when you're just relying on grants coming in, when that's gone, it's gone, isn't it? And you haven't got into that mindset. You need to have services which are good, that people want and that they would pay for. Because at the end of the day, if we really want to advance, that's what we've got to do. We've got to be able to put our money where our mouth is.
See, I was going to ask you, like, all these things that you were doing back then, who was funding that? So I'm so glad you said that.
Who was funding it? Were the public.
Okay.
So remember, it's our money. Just like, you know, when you get excited when you get a tax rebate, just remember it was your money.
It's your money.
Exactly.
You know,
do you know what? I've never thought of it like that. Like, now I'm thinking, wait a minute, why am I excited to receive my own money back?
Exactly. So it was public funds, but it was done, you know, with a political will to actually fund things that they were never funding before, you know.
So how did you, I guess, because obviously two things. Obviously, you kind of knew, okay, even though it's funded by the public and whatnot, you knew we couldn't stay there and rely on this. You knew somehow we had to do for self, almost exclusively, right, going forward. But at the same time, what was different back then that made you guys have the power to kind of, I don't want to say coerce, but make the powers that be do things for our communities that we're not doing today?
We were strategically organised. And we, for instance, one of the reasons why the metropolitan areas were smashed politically is because they were Labour strongholds and we had Conservative in the central government. So, Labour, working people were, in the big metropolitan areas, Manchester. So there was that. And then there were strategically placed progressive politicians who worked together as a unit. And that's what isn't sufficiently happening now, not at that same kind of level. And I think if anything has really put this in me about doing for self, I haven't only lived and stayed here, I have lived in West Africa and I have lived in Europe. So I speak German and some French. And also I've lived in the Gambia. And I was a head teacher of the top school in the Gambia. Wow. So, this kind of perspective from living and working on the continent, in Europe and here, makes me see things very differently.
I was going to ask a question about Bernie Grant.
Yeah.
Like, do you feel like an MP like him would work today, put it that way? Like, is there space for Bernie Grant in 2024?
Well, look what's happened recently with the culling within the Labour Party of, more strident, politically critical voices. The one that has still stayed true has been Diane Abbott. And in fact, on the 4th of November, as part of our Future Ed event, we're actually honouring her in the House as a Mother of the House and bringing together intergenerational. So, on our panel, there's some young people. We've got people like Lavinia Sennett from the Black Curriculum.
She'll be here tomorrow.
Yeah. Ah, okay. So she'll be on the 4th. We've got a couple of guys as well, because it's about male allies, and it's also about overcoming misogyny, as well as, what's the other one called?
Misogynoir.
That's the one. You see, thank you very much for updating me. But yeah, so I think we just got to make do and build on what we have. I don't think it's always like looking back at the past, it was better then or in the future. What I see, for instance, that is different for young people, one of my children, I have 5, by the way.
Amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Go, girl. God, please.
So one of my sons, he actually wrote his master's on Ethiopia. I had no interference, I didn't. And he said, Mum, he says, when I go back to the continent, because he grew up, partly went to school in the Gambia, he says, it's business, it's not charity, it's business. And that's what I see the difference about the young, particularly African heritage young people. They are global. They're moving the same as their white peers. They see things differently. And I think, therefore, they will move differently. But business alone won't cut it. Business alone, because politics is about power. That's what it is. Politics is about power. How do you get power? How do you change things? And I think that, once we sort of come together, businesses come together, like, for instance, if we're too small, we're not getting sufficient procurement through supply chain. For instance, use education. Do you know how much is spent per year in education in this country?
No.
£115.5 billion a year.
Wow. On education?
Yeah. From nursery to university. 115. How many countries could that run? Now, with that, one of our targets for our Future Ed event, which is a national award celebration, is about diversifying the supply chain. Over half of black children in this country are growing up in families which are poor. So what we're saying is, if we want to change this, not only must we have a pipeline for success for our young people, but also for our businesses. We must not be shut out from the public contracts.
Yeah.
You know, in a school, this is buying power. The pens, the pencils, the toilet paper, the food, the uniform, everything. Who hires the teachers, the consultants, the cleaners? That is money. Yeah. Where are we? So we've been talking to places like BESA, which is a British Education Supply Association, about 400 suppliers on that. We're wondering how many of those are black and diverse, led.
It's funny you say that because I remember, obviously, I was buying
Thank you.
my daughter's uniform.
Yeah.
Now that she's gone to like reception, I was thinking, how come there's only one of these in the entire borough?
Yeah.
How do we start our own to actually? So is there actually like some gatekeepers?
I think there is. Sorry. So I know yeah. But I remember when I was like in secondary school, and you know each flipping jumper. We didn't even have blazers in mine, but each jumper was like 40, 45 pounds.
It's ridiculous.
And then you had to use your cardigan. And your mum looking at you, you're right. But then there was always one shop. I remember because I went to my school was in Chislehurst. It was the one shop that did all the schools, like in like the Bromley Chislehurst area. And I was thinking, I remember I was thinking, you must be making bank.
You know, that's insane when you think about it, right? Because why is a school jumper like £40?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like when I think about it now, because I hear parents now talking about how expensive, like
it's crazy.
It's probably even worse now compared to when we were in school.
Exactly.
And if you've got multiple children,
word. I was one of 8. Yeah.
Wow.
I was the eldest of 8, and it's interesting you're talking about uniform because in the Gambia, at the school where I was the head, you bought cloth. And then you went to the tailors.
I was gonna. Do you know what I was gonna say that about? Because I schooled in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So with my school. I think one of the schools I went to, you get the material and then you just get it sewn.
That's right.
But then also, my secondary school was too much. They had like a day of the week and you say you need 5 shirts. But basically, it was the school that sold it.
Yeah.
So whatever the case is, it's going back into this system kind of thing.
Exactly.
But like you would just get the cloth, you get the material, and it's like sold in the market.
Yep.
So you can get it wherever it's cheapest for you, blah blah. And then you go to tailor, like everyone, you would know which like the sample.
Yeah.
And they would just sew it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
And also, the question is, why do we have to wear uniform? Because I've also taught in Europe, they don't have school uniform. They don't lose their children, when they go on outings. Yeah?
But do you not feel...
There you go.
I was going to say, do you not feel though that like uniform is a way to kind of like allow everyone to be on the same equal because if you didn't wear uniform and you went in your normal clothes, then you're gonna have like people like especially with how things are now, like people wearing the latest trendy stuff and the latest trendy clothes, and it's like when you're in uniform, everyone's equal. Because I feel like I went to a sixth form, so I didn't go to college, and we had to wear suits. We wore blazers. I went to Angela's and Bonds, and they didn't play. And at first, when you first started the semester, everyone was wearing their blazers. And obviously, as time goes on, you start to get relaxed. Relax. And then they were like, no.
Put it back on.
Then they started they had to stand at the gate, and literally when you come in the morning, if you don't have your blazer, you got sent home.
Right. But now that's where I'm going. Why? What does it matter what you wear in terms of what goes in your head? Because what that is about obedience. That's about obedience and conformity. And that's how schools were originally set up. Because when people were first taught to teach, it was not from the gift of their hearts. They needed the working class to work the machines. They needed to be able to read, to be able to know, press that button, turn it on or whatever. Before, they didn't care. Yeah? So this is about conformity. And when I see the amount of exclusions and detentions are done, when teachers are traipsing up children and pulling off this and saying, why haven't you got, and sending them, I thought, why? And having worked in a school where there was no uniform for many years, and we couldn't send anybody home because they didn't have the right colour sock or the right colour that was out the window. And particularly here, we live in a very punitive society. We incarcerate the amount. We are on track as America. People think, oh yes, they can see racist institutions. If you look how many people in the criminal justice system, black people are incarcerated, we're on the same level. was America.
Wow.
So, you know, I think we just need to think a bit more about, I mean, I know it looks nice or, you know, and it's easier. I mean, I remember my children, I wanted to put them straight into the washing machine without even taking off the clothes when I saw, you know, especially when they were playing football, you know, he would come from mud from head to toe and I thought, where do I start? And yeah, and when we went to go out, I would look and see which clothes do I have to take to put them out because they've worn everything. But people know, you know, when, you know, who's got money, because they show it in their phones, they show it in their accessories, whatever. So people still know. Yeah, exactly.
Do you know, I'm so glad you brought that before I read that comment, because I got sent home one time from sixth form because I had a bit of fur in my boots. My feet were under the table. And I remember my mum was like, so who exactly, because of course it's a distraction, like who exactly is she distracted? Act like it's like, you know when little kids have those trainers that light up? It was the most ridiculous, but again, it is about control and control.
It is.
G7. Yeah, didn't even get me started.
Don't even
get me started with
my
that.
school was like, yeah, they had issues with like, it was mainly boys though. So
do you know that case we talked about in America where the guy, he's got very neat locks and stuff, and they've had to go to court and whatever else. I think he's doing really in court.
Yeah, he lost. Yeah,
he lost in court and everything, and he's missed how much of school.
No, you see, and that's it. Racism, when it's actually impacting us, it distracts us from very ordinary thing. You know, most people, you want to go to the shops, you just walk down the shop. If you're black, you're going to shops, you might be pulled over. You want to get on a bus, you get on a bus. You want to, you know, then you'll be stopped. So, you know, you go to school, you just want to go to school to learn, you know, something about your hair. You know, that is your hair and that's it.
Exactly. G7 says, I grew up in the Gambia and now I have a 1-year-old. I'm honestly debating moving back home. I'm honestly debating moving back home by the time my son is to go to primary school. I'd like to know her opinion on education here versus back home in Gambia.
Let me, a blanket thing. It doesn't matter which school you send your child to. The most important teaching comes from you as a parent, first and foremost.
Patricia is preaching today, honey.
Yeah? So you are there 24/7.
Word.
No one is paying you. I mean, you can't call the child benefit payment, yeah? So, you know, whatever school, because I know some parents who have a lot of money, put them in a private school and think it's sorted. They don't know, especially for, say, richer African parents who put their children here in China, they don't know the kind of psychological stuff that they go in, that they don't feel the sense of belonging.
Absolutely.
You know, when you go swimming, you haven't got time to do your hair. I remember all this, you know. So you're not be able to care. And these little things are very important. So the first thing is that you as a parent have to be totally twigged on and know what it is your child is supposed to be learning ahead. You cannot trust the schools. Secondly, if you're going to the continent, your real only option really are private schools. So you have to have the money to do that, because on the continent, there isn't enough state provision. So if it wasn't for private schools, you know, where would we be? Nowhere. So, you know, it's not like here where it really is, you know, it's a chance for richer families to you know, to maintain their privilege, basically. And you see it in terms of, you know, when I was just talking to somebody, you know, like, for instance, somewhere like Hackney, which has become, you know, gentrified, you watch. As soon as those young people, as I call them, our mothers and brothers from a different, our sisters and brothers from a different mother and father, as soon as those young people get pregnant, they're going to move. They're going to move to where they have very good state schools that will be out in, you know, vanilla boroughs, basically.
Vanilla
so
I've never heard that before, but I like it.
So, you know, I think that's going to happen. So you would need to send your child probably to an international school, because especially if you're going to move.
Yeah.
I mean, when I went to the Gambia, it was purely by chance, or perhaps there was a higher force at work. I became the head teacher of the top international school in the Gambia.
Yeah.
So it's the equivalent like at the Eton or whatever it was, you know, but it's been there. And that wasn't my plan. You know, I happened to be there.
Yeah.
And I happened to get there. But then I saw how things are different. And it is much cheaper than here.
Yeah, absolutely.
What would you say about the standard of education though? Like back home compared to here? Because I feel like growing up, my mum there was this narrative that like kids from back home were a lot smarter than kids over here.
And we were. Because I came from Nigeria.
And you know also and I've also seen the narrative of which is really interesting. I saw it on like TikTok the other day, and it was in Nigeria, and it was basically saying how in Nigeria, in school, if you wanted to like approach a girl or you wanted to chat to a girl or date a girl, the first thing she's asking you is what level you're at in school.
That's right.
And if you weren't on her level, she wasn't even talking to you. So guys were talking about how there was girls that they fancied and they'd have to get book smart just to be able to speak to them. Yeah. And that's so different over here, because over here it's the complete opposite. Yeah. No one cares about your educational status. It's more about like your social status.
I was like, so I'm sorry. So I was gonna say that so I moved back here when I was 13, and I remember when I moved back here, obviously the school didn't know anything about me, so they put me in set 3 maths, and then I was in there, and I was done with the work in like 2 minutes. I was thinking I did this in primary school, like, and this is year 9, by the way. I was like, I did this in primary school. Like, what's happening here? Then I remember speaking to the head of year. I was like, yeah, like, I don't understand what's going on, and he was like, oh, by chance, do you have like anything that you can show me that you did back home? And I was like, oh, I actually have a notebook. And I showed him. He was like, "This is university level work."
Telling you.
Within a week of being in the school, I was in the top set. I was in set 1.
That's
because
right.
so I feel like the standard back home for me. I've always said that I feel like and I went to private school, so I will say that is much higher standard. But I think it's also about the attitudes when it comes to education. I feel like obviously this is a very privileged land, so back home education is very serious. Like that mindset, like. It's obviously now, like, but like as we grow up now, obviously in Nigeria, for example, there is a lot more appreciation for like creative stuff. But even then, people who are creative, their family is still like, you should be a doctor, you should be an engineer. It's very, very traditional school role. So the path that you're led down is for you to be able to get a traditional job. I was listening to a podcast, and the girl was saying how her dad wanted to be, what the parents wanted her to be a lawyer. Then there was another girl talking about how her parents wanted her to be an accountant, and they just weren't hearing anything else about anything. So the path you're led down is more to do is traditional,
and that's to do with colonialism.
But it makes you take education seriously. But even like the way that it is back home as well, like I would go to school. I had after school clubs I would do. Every single day of the week was booked. I'd have after school club I would do, and I'd also had a tutor. Like that's just standard.
Yes.
And then my tutor happened to be in my school. So there's that extra pressure because you will not embarrass me because I'm your tutor outside of school. So even like when we did tests, for example, before I knew the score I got, she knew. And I'm having a meeting with her. She's like, so why did you get 85%? I'm not gonna like 85% is good, but she's like, it's 85%. And then my school as well, my secondary school, they had a leaderboard. So basically, in assembly, the first top 10 students would get announced when we did exams and stuff. So what it does, it just makes you competitive. It makes you want to be better because it's like, I want my name there. And then also in the hallway of our school, I don't know if my school was extra, but our school, we had like, so you'd have like your pictures up. So you have like employee of the month. It was like a star student thing. And also as soon as you come in, you would always know the faces on there. So for you, you're aspiring to be up on that wall. You're aspiring for your name to get called in assembly.
That is how it is in private schools here. And what was exported to the former colonies, you know, 'cause I think it's all part of colonization as well, were the either the church schools, and which were very traditional, and the private school things, you know, and in fact, you know, like what you were saying that young people, it's completely different here. They're not into that. It's true, because I had that same experience. My son, when he came back from the Gambia and he went into to college to do his A-levels, he goes, "Mum, what have they been teaching here?" You know, so he could see, and he'd been to school in England, he'd been to school in Germany, and he'd been to school in Africa, and then back in England again. So yes, you know, I think it is a higher standard.
Yeah.
It
is. I was going to ask as well. So with what did you set out to achieve with the Black History Month? Obviously, you didn't set out for it to be Black History Month, but what was the goal exactly? Because now they try to do a BAME month.
No, it was about, you know, we were the ones at the bottom of everything. Yeah. You know, bottom at things that where you should be top, and top at things where you don't want to be top. You know, in terms of criminality. Yeah. But you know, this is not just about Black History Month out. You know, we're making history every day.
Amen to that. Yeah.
You know, and her story as well, not just his.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, what we've got to do is to really learn and move forward.
Yeah.
So that's why we moved on to do something called Future Ed, where we want to celebrate Black excellence and equity of our allies. Yeah. So this is our sort of national awards system, which is about culture and policy change.
Okay,
And what sets us apart is actually we've set ourselves some targets.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any other awards ceremony setting ourselves some targets. Like, for instance, we want at least another 1,450 black head teachers in this country.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got about 24,500 schools. Do you know how many black head teachers we've got?
Oh, gosh, I'm scared to find out.
Less than 100.
200.
That's crazy.
That is. Because when you look at the diversity of the school population in this country, what they call minority ethnic, in other words, non-white British, is a third. A third primary across the country.
Yeah.
So the fact that we've only got
Which is still quite high though. Like a third, like as in there's a lot.
A third, exactly.
Yeah.
Third. I mean, we're talking about African, which have overtaken the Caribbean, African, Caribbean, dual heritage, Asian, of Asian origin, Indian, etc. So, and as I said, non-white British.
Yeah.
So that is a third of primary and secondary schools. So the fact that we've only got 200 is just
crazy.
Wrong. So, you know, we want that. And the other thing that we notice is that given the kind of, you know, cost of living, criminalisation, targeting of children, you know, county lines, all kinds of things, not enough employment, not enough career lines to top jobs.
Yeah.
Young people have complex needs in schools and they need to be mentored, they need to be supported, not just excluded.
Yeah.
So where we find that there are quite a lot more black people there are coming in as learning mentors, behavioural things. They are the lowest paid, they have no career progression. And when all these strikes are going on, they didn't even get as much money as the teachers.
Yeah.
So we also say we want to push them up too.
Yeah.
And another thing, we want to fast track our young people. We need, you know, this is what private schools are very good at. They have connections because the parents, you know, if they want to do internship, exactly.
Yeah.
Where do we say? Well, we can't even send them to B&Q. We haven't got anybody running B&Q. So, you know, we need those kind of connections. So this is what it's all about as well.
That's so interesting. You set targets. So when did this? When did Future Ed start? When did you start that?
We started last year. We did proof of concept last year. And it was amazing. You know, we had about nearly 300 people. We sold tables.
Amazing.
We got some sponsors. We got a lot of top judges, like Lord Simon Woolley, Dame Vivian Hunt, Samuel Kazumu, who used to advise Boris Johnson. You know, and best teacher of the year, it was a Gambian, Dr. Mamadou Salah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, and Lavinia, she was a judge. She's a judge again this year.
Nice.
So basically, you know, we need to celebrate the changes we want to see. And if we don't get that, we're not going to go anywhere.
Yeah. So then what is the event, tell us more please about the event that's honouring Diane Abbott.
So the event that's honouring Diane Abbott is already sold out. Everybody, I'm sorry. You're not gonna be able to, it's free, but as soon as we put it up, it was just there.
It was gone.
Yeah, it was gone. So basically, it's to give her flowers while she's still alive.
Amen to that.
You know, we shouldn't wait until, you know, anything
People
happens.
die, they can't see it now.
No. And the fact that she's the mother of the house, the longest she's the longest female MP. Amazing. That's why she's called the mother of the house. And not a lot of people know that she has been a pioneer in terms of the education of the black child. Between the beginning of the 2000s, for almost a decade, late 80s into the middle 2000s, she used to run a conference called the London School and the Black Child and the Education of the Black Child. Thousands of people attended, teachers, activists, supplementary school. It was such an uplifting time, you know, where you could talk about things, you know, what will push black children forward. So, you know, we just wanted to pass that legacy on to other young people as well.
So then when you actually think about it, and like all the stuff that's happened with Diane Abbott recently, it seems very intentional. Like it's really just to like humble her or just Do you know what I mean? Like, she's been doing the work for so long that it really was it's all intentional. She's an enemy to these people, essentially, basically.
I mean, the majority that she's had in her constituency for the last 37 years, loads of white MPs would you know, they can only dream of getting a majority like that. Exactly. Yeah. So what she is, she's a pioneer, and so she needs to be celebrated. Yeah.
There was a comment actually earlier by Dr. Amani. She said about it's not about just building wealth, but it's also about like pouring that wealth back into
the
our community.
Yeah. And also, wealth means different things to different people.
Yeah.
For some people, wealth is their health. Mm-hmm. Wealth is their cultural heritage. Yeah. And as you say, it's about giving back.
Yeah.
So definitely, we need to do that.
Yeah.
And that's what we have to, push for.
What would you say is the importance of mentorship in the work that you do? And even just in general in society for young people.
Yeah. I think young people. I think we all need someone who we can turn to and get advice or guidance from.
Yeah.
Who've been through. Who've done, we don't always have to all fall down or make the same mistake. Like you were saying about don't date insecure men. You were talking about that, so you want to talk about that and, give people advice. So it's the same thing. Yeah. And we did a survey of over 1,000 Black parents, teachers, carers, just after George Floyd, just at the beginning of the lockdown, when we were saying, well, what kind of new education do we want when we come back from lockdown? And one of the key things that many Black parents said was they wanted that there was an adult that their children could talk to, because there's many things that the children won't tell their parents. You don't want to put pressure on them, or you don't want to get slapped, or whatever else. So you don't tell them, but that there should be someone else that can guide them. I think that's really important, and especially since COVID, people have underestimated the mental health impact this has had on children and teachers. Yeah. That sort of 2 years has sort of taken a lot of things. A lot of young people are behind and are also not, it hasn't settled. And there should be a counsellor in every school, really, so that, there is help for young people.
Yeah.
I was chatting to a friend of mine, and he was, a new friend basically, and he was talking about how he homeschools his kids.
Yeah.
Is that a good idea? I know I'm speaking generally.
Yeah.
But
homeschool has gone right up.
Yes.
I think especially since COVID, both in the States and here. I think homeschooling is not easy.
Exactly.
And I think if any parent decides to do that, she or he is very serious. I mean, you've got situations where, God forbid, people have come from war-torn countries or whatever to put their children, and their children end up dead.
Sad.
They've brought them from Somalia or whatever, and they're dead. I mean, how can they be dead here?
Yeah.
Pushed in a river and killed.
That's who I was thinking about.
That's that young girl.
Yes, that's who I was thinking about. That story breaks my heart.
Chris Capessa,
every time.
It hurts you. Not to mention Child Q. How can we be in this day and age with all the anti-racism and the fact that Black people in here since 1600 and whenever, and we're still having all this foolishness? Yeah. It's just wrong. And like, for instance, what happened in the summer? I wasn't here when people started to decide.
The writers.
Yes. One of the first things I thought, they need help. They need someone to listen to them because they have been told lies.
Yeah.
Because in fact, the jobs that they're saying that have been taken, they don't want to do the jobs.
They don't
want to do those jobs.
That's so interesting, though.
They don't want to do the damn jobs.
They don't want to do those jobs. So someone needs to listen to them and talk to them and tell them the truth. The fact that this so-called Great Britain was built on our blood, sweat and tears of Africa, India, the whole world. Yeah. Start turning. Yeah. And we are here because you were there.
I'm telling you.
Trisha, you're preaching. Because it was interesting seeing the narratives when they did have the interviews. I mean, we saw a few of them and laughed at them, but when they would do interviews with people that were writing and why are you writing? Why is this important? And it was just the rhetoric that's been spilled over the years, but there's actually no receipts for it. There's no proof of.
There's frustration.
Yeah.
There's pent up anger, and someone, their own people, needs not just lock them up.
Yeah.
They need to listen to them.
Because anger,
it's conditioning as well, though.
Yeah.
Like, so I definitely think it's a mental thing that needs to be broken.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Because they actually believe what they're saying, even if there's no logic to it. But it's a belief that's like
deep.
Yeah,
it is very deep, because you see, and it is what you're saying. It is a psychological thing, because this is not just about knowing. There are very, very intelligent people who are highly racist. So it's not just about knowing this.
Yeah.
It's when it is a supremacist mindset, which says that, I am at the top because of this and everybody else is at the bottom. It doesn't matter how much they've achieved or what. And that can't wash anymore. Yeah. Empire is finished. Slavery and colonialism is over. We still have, dependency. But I think if you look and see what's happening on the continent, things are changing. Yeah. And I think it's very, very positive. And I think it's time for all of us to wake up and to connect and to really be honest and really, use this critical thinking, all the things they don't want you to learn in school. Yeah. Critical thinking, be able to explain your point, listen to someone else, even if you argue with them, have backwards. This is how you're going to build your intellect, and this is how you're going to make changes. And that's what I wish for all our young people.
What would you say to I guess, our generation that sees what you're saying in terms of things improving back home, but at the same time tell us to not take it for granted because colonialism has repackaged itself? You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like, yes, a lot of us are going back home. We're connecting in different ways. But at the same time, the West has found a way to latch onto certain things right in front of our eyes, but we're missing it. You know what I mean? Like, how do you find that balance? How do we make sure that doesn't happen again? Because I feel like this newer form could have much more longer lasting effects.
We have to understand economic policy.
All right.
Not just history. We need to understand economics. Yeah. And we need to look at what we've lost. I think there's this form called Sankofa. I think you know of Sankofa. So when you look back and you find something that's really important, because there's a lot of stuff. I think there's a lot of information in history from our elders who haven't told us yet. Yeah. And I think when the space and time is right, then we use it for the future. And I think, this collective thing, this Ubuntu, I am because we are. This is it. We are all connected. Yeah. So, we can't feel good if, our grandfather is trodden upon or, dying somewhere in a care home. We need that connection. So I think it's a combination of economics, history, and critical thinking, and also spiritual practices. Spiritual practices that move us forward. So whether it's Christianity, whether it's Muslim, because I lived in the Gambia where, it was Muslim and Christian. Yeah. So, I saw, everybody was together. There was even families, a husband would be Muslim, his wife would be Christian. Yeah. It was very closely knit. So I think, all those things together and honest and authentic talking, like what you're doing here. Yeah. I think with that, you'll have an understanding. We need to move forward together. Yeah.
I wanted to ask a question about something you said earlier on, when you said how back then you guys were strategically positioned in places of power. Would you then say it's a mistake for our generation who have become disillusioned with politics to step away? 100%?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the problem is if we're always choosing the lesser of two evils, that's not really a good choice. Yeah, because many people voted Labour to make sure Conservative didn't come in, but may not have felt fully with their heart was there in Labour. Yeah. We have to find a different way, because it's not only in this country, it is across the world that the so-called democratic way that we have it is not being carried by young people. In China, for instance, where they've got their young people on lockdown, they're now engaging in a thing called they're not even trying. And they don't even know what to do. They're not being sort of very studious and obedient and doing things. They just stopped. Yeah. So But yeah, I think we've got to find a different way. Even the World Economic Forum says, you know, our global capitalist order is not working. You know, and if they are saying it at that thing, so they're looking for a new way forward. And I think we've got to be part of that. Because if you're not there at the table making the decisions, you're on the menu.
Yeah, facts.
Word.
I want to ask another question, yeah. I've kind of heard this in certain circles where people are like, okay, the problems that we kind of go through as minorities, as black people, it's just kind of the growing pains of any new culture, or let me not say new culture, but a group of people that go into a new nation, for example. And so it's just the normal thing that occurs. But after a certain amount of time, when people are fully integrated, these problems that we kind of talk about will just be a thing of the past. How true do you think that is? Or do you feel like... How true do you think that
is? There's something very unique about African peoples in the world. This is not just a passing thing. This is... So, for instance, I remember listening to someone who's saying, if you look in the last 100 years, all the things that have changed, technology, wars, empires have gone up and down, but what has always stayed the same is where Africa is placed at the bottom. Yeah? Mm-hmm. So that means that no matter that other things have changed, that relationship between Europe, UK, the West, and Africa, that has to be kept in a dependency. And I think, that it was very unique what happened to African people.
100%.
In terms of slavery and colonialism, into such a brutality and excess. I mean, the countries from where my parents came from, Jamaica, we were a massive social violent experiment over decades, where our forefathers were bred, our women were raped and, our children were taken away. So, and so there is this traumatic thing that's been passed on through generations, which we need to heal. Yeah. And so I think it will calls for different strategies for people, and that we need to learn. Like those of us in the diaspora who were born here, we need to learn from the continent. Yeah. And the continent needs to learn from us. Yeah. And then I think things will be different.
Jinan just asked, can we ask about Miss Lamour's thoughts? Sorry, did I pronounce that right? Did I pronounce your name right? Patricia?
Yeah, Mrs. Lamour. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Can we ask about Miss Lamour's thoughts on accepting those titles like OBE, etc., in the most respectful way?
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, because I got one, didn't I? I had to think. I had to think very carefully about that. Whether to take that or not, because it's about empire, and we didn't. My ancestors, and even now, we didn't benefit in the same way that Britain did. So I decided to take it because I don't want to be a gatekeeper. I want to be a door opener, or push it down or bash it down or whatever it is. And so therefore that means I can see that when I add my name and I write a reference to someone, that helps people. Or if I write to someone on behalf of someone and I put it helps. So I want to use it to help.
Oh, is that networking that you speak of about like the kids from private school, how they can get doors open to them based off who their parents know and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Do you mind what's your heritage?
My parents from Jamaica.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, but my grandfathers were from China.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was never discriminated against because of my Chinese heritage, but because of my black heritage. So therefore, I made the political decision to come down for black. And because I lived in Africa, I see myself more as a global African. So I think you've rinsed me out,
I think so.
I mean,
you think it's a good thing? I hope that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot what I was going to ask now. After that question,
do you what do you see of people who reject MBEs and OBEs and stuff? What's your thoughts on that?
That's up to them.
Yeah, you give me that vibe anyway. To be fair, I just wanted to ask.
Yeah, no, I mean it's a personal thing. If you don't want it, then you don't have it.
Yeah.
And if you think you can use it for something, then you do.
Do that. Yeah.
You know?
So basically, it's important for our community to, because, like our community, like, would you say it's important to kind of engage in nepotism?
In
nepotism.
Maybe I guess you wouldn't call it nepotism.
No, we need to support. We need to support each other far more.
Yeah.
You know, tell them. You know, whenever I see something, I pass things on. You know, to people if there's opportunities, scholarships, jobs, or whatever. You know, we have to help each other. You see, the thing is, everybody is there for themselves. You know, when you see when Britain engages with Canada or Britain engages with Jamaica or something. First and foremost, they're representing their interests.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Which is fine. We just have to make sure we do the same.
Do the same, exactly.
That's all. And I think that's what's missing sometimes. You know, a lot of time. That's why we don't get the deals we should.
I think Black would love to we glorify struggle anyway. I wish I was a Nepo baby. I would have been living my best life. Adele says, one of the benefits of homeschooling, a lot of times our children are getting hindered from developing the kind of critical thinking they need in educational systems that are institutionally racist. That is true.
I think just make sure that when you're homeschooling, just make sure you get all the exam specs and test your children with the exams so that they know. Because at the end of the day, they need to get these pieces of paper. We haven't abolished them yet. So they need them.
Exactly.
All right. 3 questions that we ask everybody, because you've done absolutely amazing.
You have, Patricia. You've been a great,
one of our best guests so far.
Iconic. All right, so we asked our guests 3 questions, and one of them, I'll just go through them. One of them is, tell us something people are usually surprised to learn about you.
I'm 67.
Wow. Shut the front door.
I shouldn't have said that online, should I? Oh my God, I've forgotten. It's too late now, isn't it? Yeah.
What is the secret? Because you work in stressful times.
Absolutely amazing.
You look amazing.
Thank you.
It's really cool.
67 with 5 kids, girl.
And 3 grandchildren.
And glowy skin. You've done a great job. What is your biggest life lesson?
Oh, wow. I'm a cancer survivor.
Oh, wow.
Twice.
Wow.
So I wouldn't say I'm one of those things, it's the best thing that happened to me, it's amazing, made me do all this, that and the other. But it makes you look at life differently. And I think it's made me go deeper into myself, so that you find the peace that we all need.
Yeah. Amazing. So we get our guests to leave questions for the next guest. I mean, you know who the next guest is, but the question that the last guest left for you, they didn't know it was you, but the question from the last guest is, if you could look back to the chapters of your life to date, which chapters would you press pause on? So like, which would you live again and just savor the moments and
I don't know, because one of the things I've always tried to do, whenever I do something, I try to fully commit to it, so I never regret. So, it's like whatever you do, try to be fully behind it.
And present,
and that's it.
I love that. And then now you need to leave a question, please, for our next guest. It could be anything.
What really brings you joy?
Such a good vibe, Patricia. Such a good vibe. I like that.
Amazing.
Have I finished now?
Yes. If we just let that go.
I'm starving. Yeah? Breakfast. I've been sitting here, my tummy's been rumbling. So
can you just let people know where they can find like future events that you might throw and all that stuff, how they can help as well, how they can support, please?
Well, Future Ed is coming up. So if you look at futureedgroup.com, futureed-group.com, that's when our event comes up. So on the 30th of November.
Lovely.
The tickets are not cheap. But as I say, investing in education,
absolutely,
we cannot afford when it doesn't go well. So by only us investing in ourselves is important. And we're having a series of activator events. We're not stopping. So this is our second year. So join us, partner with us, because we want to achieve those targets and we can't do it by ourselves. We've got to work with others.
So what ways that people can actually support outside of coming to the events as well?
We're setting up a Future Ed Club.
Okay.
Yeah, and a newsletter. So just, even if some of the things are, if you're on our waiting list, we're joining, we're drawing down the waiting list because it's just got to be a movement for real change.
Yeah. Honestly, thank you so much for everything that you do and continue to do.
Thank you.
Absolutely iconic. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
All
very
right.
much.
Should we get into our last headlines?
Let's do it. All right, people. So, Georgia's Prime Minister has hailed a landslide election results, rejecting allegations of vote rigging and violence. This guy that represented the Georgian Dream Party was speaking to BBC's Stephen Rosenberg, and he pretty much said irregularities happen everywhere. Official preliminary results from Georgia's election commission gave the ruling Georgian party an outright majority of 54%, despite exit polls for opposition TV channels suggesting 4 opposition parties had won. Georgia's pro-Western president, Mr. Salom, has condemned the total falsification of the vote and called for opposition supporters to rally outside Parliament on Monday. Election observers had suggested that the number of vote violations may have affected the result. However, the Prime Minister insisted that out of the 3,111 poll stations, there had been incidents in just a couple of precincts. And our last headline, trigger warning, a man has been charged over the death of a 3-week-old baby in a crash. Sad news, man. Craig Nunn, 39, has been charged with causing death by dangerous driving over the fatal collision on the A451 at about 12:10 at night on Saturday. This is according to West Mercia Police. A black Ford Focus and a black Suzuki Vitara crashed between Kidminster and Southport in Worcestershire, and the baby was in the Suzuki and died at the scene. Mr. Nunn of Mr. Southport has also been charged with causing serious injury by dangerous driving and will appear at Kidminster Magistrates Court on Monday. Two other people who were in the Suzuki, a man and a woman in their 20s, were taken to hospital for treatment. Their injuries were not thought to be life-threatening. And that's it for our headlines. Time to pay them bills.
Sure is. Let's get into some reaction.
God damn it.
Brendan's not here. My bad. Maybe just get into it. You didn't People Journal today?
Nah.
Okay.
I wasn't.
There's nothing to
Is there nothing to react to?
No.
There's a couple things, some football and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, just say it, because Brent's going to be out there for a minute.
Yeah.
I think it's talking about TMB.
All right, cool.
No.
Say that. All right, so with the scores, on Friday, there was a game. Nottingham Forest beat Leicester City. On Saturday, there were some big games as well. Aston Villa drew with Bournemouth 1-1. Brentford beat Ipswich Town 4-3. Brighton beat Wolves drew with Wolves 2-2. Man City beat Southampton 1-0. Everton drew with Fulham 1-1. And on Sunday, Chelsea drew. I'm getting this wrong. Chelsea beat Newcastle 2-1. Crystal Palace beat Tottenham 1-0. West Ham beat Manchester United 2-1. And in the biggest game, I guess, in the weekend, Arsenal drew at home with Liverpool 2-2. So Liverpool came from behind apparently twice. I thought, anyway, that's what it says here. I'm reading it as it says. So they came from behind twice to end a 2-2 draw at Arsenal on Sunday, with Mohamed Salah scoring a late equaliser. Saka and Marino scored for Arsenal, while Van Dijk and Salah netted for Liverpool. The Gunners, obviously, they were without several key players due to injuries like Saliba, Gabriel, but they still managed to hold Liverpool at bay for much of the match. Liverpool improved in the second half and eventually found the equaliser through Salah in the 81st minute. This result is 2-2 draw, leaves Liverpool a point behind Man City, who are the leaders, and Arsenal remain in 5th place. The other thing was there was some boxing on the weekend as well. So we spoke about this briefly on Friday. And Jack Catterall, he emerged victorious in a good fight, in a good light welterweight fight against Regis Prograis, basically 140-pounders. Like I said last week, I think Prograis is kind of on his last sort of. He's on his way out pretty much. He's a good boxer. At least in his prime, he was a really good boxer. Had amazing fights, especially that main one where he lost to narrowly anyway to what's his name, Taylor. And I kind of knew that he wasn't going to win this fight, but he put in a much better performance than I thought he would. So I'm really proud of him. He kind of alluded to him kind of retiring at the end of this fight, though. I think he wants to go into bare knuckle fighting. So the way, he was just saying certain things. And funny enough, he also mentioned and said how Catterall is probably his his hardest fight to date. You know what I'm saying? So he's been in there with Josh Taylor. He's been in there with Haney as well. Haney, like, obviously knocked him down and also had a complete shutout, pretty much. Almost like won every round against Prograis. But he still says Jack Catterall was his best competitor. But yeah, in terms of the scorecards, one judge gave it 117 to 108, and the other two gave it 116 to 109. So yeah, it was pretty much a unanimous decision, a shutout. But Prograis dropped him once, Catterall dropped him twice. Yeah. Another thing as well.
What segment is that coming under? It ain't word and roll. It ain't word and roll.
But what's the other thing I was gonna say? I'm not too sure if people like those who really like watch boxing. You probably know about somebody called Campbell Hatton. So he's the son of the former world champion Ricky Hatton. Ricky Hatton is one of the top boxers, British boxers, probably of all time, right? If you had like a top 10, top 15, you'd probably put Ricky Hatton in there. Now his son Campbell Hatton, obviously, just like Eubank, just like Ben, just like Nassim Ahmed, like their sons want to kind of follow in their father's steps, which is beautiful. But and no disrespect to Campbell Hatton, but he doesn't look like he has what it takes, and he keeps losing. And this particular fight here was him changing his coach, changing his corner, coming back to kind of avenge a loss against Joe Flint. And so they had their rematch on this particular card. Same thing happened again, man, and he lost. And it's like,
when did you give up?
Yeah, man, it's bad. And I don't know. I feel like some of these things are mistakes in his career that were kind of put in place by, I don't know. I don't want to say his dad, but I say all of that basically because he doesn't really have a good amateur background. He kind of just went straight to pros, right? And there were a couple of reasons for it. Apparently, I heard something along the lines of some of the belts were kind of being kept. Kind of being kept. And so it's like no point in going the amateur route and this and the third. Let's just go the pro route. And Eddie Hearn's been matching him up in a pretty much a good fashion, right? And to be fair, if he wasn't Ricky Hatton's son, he probably wouldn't have had all the opportunities he's had so far. You know what I'm saying? But when you look at him, you just feel like he's the type of guy to keep trying. So you got to give him praise for that. But in terms of the results, it just doesn't look good for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, so obviously I don't want to say anything that's negative towards him, but it just doesn't look good, man. It just doesn't look good. He just keeps losing and losing and losing. But yeah, that's what I was going to say. Oh, there was another fight that was meant to happen between Bellotti and Michael Gomez Jr. That was pretty much, people were looking forward to that. That was meant to be a serious fight, but it got cancelled last minute. Gomez had a sudden illness, and so yeah, didn't happen. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the reaction.
Thank you very much. Well, let's wrap it up. The iPad noise.
Oh. I was going to say to you to lower it, but yeah. All right. All right, people. Thank you for tuning in. Go back there. Thank you. Sorry, guys. Today we spoke about Sir Keir Starmer, basically saying that the budget will embrace the harsh light of fiscal reality in this country, which the budget should be coming out on Wednesday, I believe. Also, we spoke about the Labour MP who got suspended for basically punching somebody up, got caught on CCTV. We spoke about Trump, basically, and the new promises that he gave to his supporters at the New York rally that he had. For topic of the day, we spoke about some of the celebrity support that's been basically put out there for Kamala Harris, for Trump. And if it's genuine, if it's paid, it doesn't matter to us, you know what I'm saying, when we see it happening.
Get out and vote.
Yeah, exactly. That's the most important thing. We also spoke about Israel and basically another attack that they done Yeah, man, 70 more people have been killed. And also Iran says that it's going to be responding appropriately to Israel as well. I think on the weekend I overheard, but I saw Keir Starmer basically saying, listen, we support Israel's right to go and attack Iran. And basically, in my words, but if Iran knows better, chill, don't respond. And I was thinking, what are we doing there? How you going to, it just doesn't make sense. But anyway, that's what we spoke about. We also spoke about the Georgia PM who rejected vote rigging claims. Yeah, man, because there was a landslide election. And the last thing we spoke about was obviously the man who got charged after 3-week-old baby dies. But the highlight of the show was definitely our wonderful guest, Patricia Lamour MBE, guys. Amazing. So many gems there, man. Yeah. So many gems. So we thank her for coming in and blessing us with her presence. Absolutely. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today, guys.
All right. Let's like the video, please. Subscribe to the channel. Follow us on socials. And we'll see you guys back here tomorrow. Bye.
Peace.